Hello, hello, and welcome. We are here.
Hey.
Yay! So off the top, I'll mention a couple of things. I got a show tonight on my other channel, um, which is Create Our Own Comics. The link is on my YouTube page. I got an interview with Todd Mulrooney, and I'll be talking to him about his career and his comic, his newest comic he's working on, which is Florida Man, which is
God.
written by it's written by Mike Barron. People might know him from Badger and Nexus and a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll be talking to him, and that's 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. I'm trying to cram a lot of things into today, and at some point I'm going to pass out. But yeah, so today on my Comics and Art show here on my regular YouTube channel, I have Emy with me.
Hey.
Hey! Tell people about the comic you're working on.
I'm
Or
working on my
what are you doing today?
working on my webcomic, Train Human. TrainHuman.com.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Just page 952.
Oh my god.
I know. I know.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm really tired, so just prompt me and I'll talk.
Okay, I'll poke you. So, hey, let's see. I'm gonna go full screen. See if this works. Just to show off. No, that's you. I don't know.
Yeah, show me
I don't know
off.
how this works. Well, I'll go back to the other option. Okay. Yeah, we had some technical issues. There's two of Emy, and for whatever reason, her screen is smaller. But at least we're both in this stream. But I'm working on my comic Retro. It's a double page spread, pages 8 and 9. So I'm just inking. And I wanted to mention, since we have, where'd he go? Oh, there he is, Randy in the chat. This is a book by Randy called The Hawk of New York, and I helped him out on last issue, which is issue 6. And I have at least 5 copies, maybe 1 or 2 more. If you're interested, message me direct on Messenger, and I'll get a copy in your hands. I did inked a batch of pages, and over Mitch Rogers, another artist, helped him out with the issue, and a story consultant. So that was fun. And I sold one of these on my show yesterday, so I figured I'd mention it. This is a book I did. There was 28 artists altogether doing 4-page stories. I was one of the 28, and is actually the first story I wrote, penciled, and inked since I've mostly been an inker in my career. So now I'm just trying to get around to penciling my own works. There's a bunch of awesome, fantastic stories in here. A lot of it is about Charles and unicorns, hence the title, but also about other mythical creatures. And I know my story is here somewhere. Here we go. So this is I did The Gryphon. It's a story about a griffin. And if you're interested, you pick up a copy. This is a whopping basically $22, $20.99. And the other book was $2.99, $4.99. Sorry. And that's Hawk of New York. And I'm working with Randy on issue 7. Just one of the many projects I got going on. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Let's see if we got any questions or interesting comments in the chat. Everybody's saying hello. What's happening, everybody? Hey, oh. Marv Artwork in the chat says, where's this comment? That's not showing up. My favorite song is Wrapped Around Your Finger. That's going off the title of this episode, which is Synchronicity. And he says, hello, everybody in the chat.
There's a theme? There's a theme?
Well, I always put some sort of title. So we could use it or not. That's up to you.
Okay.
Don't sweat it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, Synchronicity, I'm sure we can think of something.
I just keep thinking of that movie with, is that Michael Keaton? Multiplicity?
Oh. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Did you hear the latest news about Michael Keaton?
Yeah, he's going to be in Flashpoint. Wait, or is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to be like, well, he died of COVID. And I'm going to be like, no.
No. No, yeah, that's really, really interesting. It's almost like they could possibly do like sort of an Into the Spider-Verse, but with, DC characters in the new Flash movie they're working on. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do. Or if it's just going to focus on Michael Keaton. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't get that impression at all that it was going to focus on him. I thought he was just going to be like a little cameo.
Could be. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're not really telling us anything other than, I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but it looks like it might happen. So we'll see.
Yeah, like when they got oh god, what's his name? Kevin Conroy, who does the voice of Batman from like everything else. When he played Bruce Wayne in it was a TV show. I don't remember, but he played like older Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like it was like a little cameo. So I kind of thought when they said that Michael Keaton was going to be Batman in Flashpoint, I was like, oh, he's just going to like have like a little like, hey, I'm Batman, and then like be gone. I'm sure it'll be something fun and interesting. Hopefully, a little more than 5 minutes of screen time. Yeah, it was an episode of Crisis.
Yeah, if anything,
Sorry, David said what
Crisis.
It was. Yeah, it was Crisis on Infinite Earth. That's what it was.
Cool. Oh, I haven't been really watching the latest animations from DC.
No, it was live action. That was the whole point.
I really hope, if anything, they fix Flash's costume.
What was it? Was it just like a little like?
It looks like a cheap version of Iron Man. I mean, it's metal. It's
that's right.
With these wires hanging out of it, and it's like, really, is that Flash's costume?
Yeah, Robot Man Run Fast. That's my favorite DC character, Robot Man Run Fast. I have to say, I'm such a terrible like DC fan because I'm just like, yeah, Batman, and I like don't know anything else. I just know everything about Batman and then nothing else.
That's fine. I mean, that means you're a Batman fan.
Yeah, and then like I'll be like reading something Batman or watching something Batman, and they'll have like a character from like one of the other cities come in, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And it's like Superman or something, you know, because I don't know shit about anything else.
Superman? Who's that? He must be new.
Yeah. Batman needs that's old. Man, Batman needs a hot dog. It's been around for a long time.
Kingdom Come Batman in the CW DC universe. Is that happening?
Did that happen? I'm really bad about the CW stuff.
I watched the first couple of years of it, but yeah, it's like, it's okay.
I tried to get into Gotham because they were like, it's gonna be great, and then like, I don't know, I just couldn't. I gave up on it after like the first season.
It's another show. I thought it was good, but it's just another variation. It's like I can't watch that much variation. I don't know. It's like
I'm also like
the characters we're a little delayed. It's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the villains. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Batman and the Bat Family and all that bullshit, but like I love the way they write the villains. And I heard that, Gotham was going to have all this screen time with the villains, and I was like, yeah. And then they just changed everything about them. They changed like a lot of their core reasons for why they became who they were. They changed their names, which I thought was really strange. One of them, there's a webcomic called Lackadaisy that's like cats with like in the 1920s, and one of the characters had the same name. Like they took it was like the exact same name as one of the characters from Lackadaisy, and they gave it to Poison Ivy. That was like her real name. I can't think of what it was right now, but it was a really. And I remember the creator of Lackadaisy was like, could you not? Like, it was really strange. It felt like they were kind of ripping her off a little bit. And I don't know. I kind of just got tired of it and was like, I'm done.
Yeah. That's funny. Was it like a totally original name that like
it wasn't, but I could tell, a lot of people were like, like it was kind of weird. It was like one of her main characters, and the comic is pretty popular with a lot of folks, and so a lot of people think that they kind of yoinked it out of her. I'm trying to remember what the name was. I mean, it wasn't. I can't think of what it was. I mean, there were like words that exist in our vernacular. It wasn't like hoppity skippity bop or whatever, but it was something, and and it felt kind of like ripped off. And like there was something else, like Poison Ivy like grew up in like a dirty ass house with like a bunch of plants. She was like a little girl. She was like plant girl. I don't know. There was just shit they changed about the villains that I was kind of like, meh. But the new Harley Quinn show, the animated one, that's the tits. I love that. That show's great.
I watched the first episode not too long ago. It's on my list. I hear, it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's really good. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it gets like, I feel like it gets the personalities of the villains really good. Like Kite Man's in it. He's like totally out of control. He's great. You know, it's just they bring back like a lot of villains and like kind of side protagonists, antagonists that don't have like a lot of screen time normally, and they give them like pretty fleshed out, funny storylines and stuff.
Do you ever read the Harley Quinn comic?
Which one?
Which one? Well, I don't know. The latest ones.
Like, uh, like the rebooted new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've read some of them. I think the last issue, like the set I read, she was like running for mayor, so it's probably a couple of years now. But
you know, it's written by my sister-in-law and my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like Googling you the other day.
Oh yeah.
So I was like trying to I was trying to figure out where all your sites were and everything, and I got your brother, and I was like, get out of here. No. But yeah, I remember when she like came out off the animated series. By the way, I'm sorry, I like turned this whole thing into like the Batman talk.
Oh, it's fine.
You got me onto like a topic I know, and so I'm like about Batman. But I remember when they pulled Harley out of the animated series, and I lost my mind. I was like, oh my god, they're bringing Harley into the comics, and I was so excited. And she appeared in No Man's Land because No Man's Land was coming out that time, and I was like, yeah, there she is. Woo, you know. Such a dip. It was so exciting to me though, because I grew up on the animated series. That's like how I got to know Batman. So I was like, oh, Harley's coming in, and she did, and it was great. It was awesome. I was so excited. I don't even really care about Harley that much, but like I was just the idea of like a villain from the TV show coming into the comics. It was a big step.
Yeah. I mean, you know, at that time, yeah, definitely. I don't know if I tried or whatever. I can't get into like the comic version of Harley, which is, I guess, bad of me. But I've read plenty of my brother's stuff. I don't need to read more. But but I'll promote it. He's got issue 2 of what is it? Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey comic come out today. So, or tomorrow, actually, probably. So go pick that up if you're a Harley fan. Tell him I sent you.
Wear your mask.
Get my royalty. Wear a mask. Be kind to strangers.
Yeah, wear your Harley mask.
Like, oh, that mask. But I'm just gonna say, like I love the movies. Like I'm a fan of Suicide Squad. You know, I know a lot aren't, but I thought it was great.
I didn't mind it. Like, I don't know. I kind of went into it knowing Suicide Squad, though. So I was like, oh, so, you know, I didn't like their portrayal of Joker in it. That was different. But
yeah.
Silence. It's just like, yeah, let's not talk about that. Anyway,
no, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's. I mean, I didn't think it was the best Joker ever, but I liked the actor, and I thought it was fine. You know, I would have preferred him not tattooed and pierced and all that, but
yeah, it felt very like edgelordy. Like,
I understand that trying to do something different each time because they keep freaking bringing him back, and they're talking about, you know, bringing him into the new Batman movie, which, you know, who knows how that's going to fit in continuity wise, but
is it going to be like, oh wait, no, it's not. It's going to be who is it going to be? Is it going to be Jared Leto? Oh, it's going to be Robert, or like the Robert Pattinson Batman.
Well, Robert, yeah. The Joker, well, I don't know. It's still they're not leaking it, but what I heard is that it's going to be an introduction to the Joker, so it could be.
Oh God, another one? Stop.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I understand it's the early years of Batman, and pretty much the early years of Batman was the Joker who killed his parents. Joe Chill.
Like, unless I
So it's
see Batman shoving Joker into the Ace Chemical plant vats, I'm not interested. Like, I've seen Joker's origin story 100 times now, and I'm just like, I'm good. Can we do another villain now, please? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's long overdue. I like the Joker, but it doesn't need to be Joker. One of the cool things about the Flash movie, a possibility is not only are they bringing Batman, it's the whole Tim Burton Batman universe of characters, possibly.
oh, really? Like, could we get like Danny DeVito Penguin back?
Yeah, and Michelle Pfeiffer. And who else was there? I guess.
Well,
them.
Joker. Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I doubt he's coming back.
Oh my God, can we get Christopher Walken in as as that like skeezy politician? Who was he in those? Was he the I don't remember now, but like yeah, Christopher Walken was in there. Got it. Oh, now I'm all excited, like possibilities, yo.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's like now is the worst time to keep track of movie news because a lot of it just turns into speculation, and it's like I'm excited for like a dozen movies to come out, and everything's getting pushed back, and it's like whatever. I give up.
Yeah. I actually I'm a huge horror movie nut, so like I keep a list on my computer of all these horror movies that are gonna come out, and I try to like keep up with like what dates so that I can like change my list because I was really obsessed with this movie called Saint Maud that was gonna come out, and I was like yeah, and then like it just kept getting like pushed back, and then like the end of the world hit, and I'm like, God damn it, I want to watch my horror movies. Like they're all getting shoved back. It's only like the top billing stuff that's like coming out quicker because they're like, oh shit, everybody's gonna die. We got to get these movies out. So yeah, like I was waiting for like Vivarium and God, the Other Lamb, just like all these scary movies. I was like, where's my scary movies? So
you mentioned a lot I never heard of. You want to talk about them?
Sure. The Other Lamb, like what do you want to know?
Let's just go down your list of what you're most excited about.
Well, let me get my list out. Oop. Okay. Here's my list. Some of these on here are not old movies. So what do we got? We got The House That Jack Built. I haven't seen that yet. I heard it's like super grisly, so I want to see that. It's by the director who did Melancholia, which is about like the planets, like a planet crashing into the Earth.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I like that. Yeah.
The remastered version of Come and See, which is like a horror, or it's not. Well, I mean, it is a horror film. It's a war movie, but it's about the Nazi invasion of the Soviet front, and apparently, it's like the most grisly portrayal of war ever captured on camera. It was made in 1985. So yeah, I want to see that. Let's see. I have something on here called Savage Grace, but I'm not sure what that is.
Don't know.
Gretel and Hansel, which I heard sucked, but the aesthetic of that film looks amazing, so I want to see it anyway. What else? I'm going down my list. I'm trying to find movies that aren't like old.
Did you see the Kevin Bacon one?
Kevin.
You Should Have Left.
No, I don't know. I'll put it on my list.
It's brand new. It's brand new. But it was like direct to, like buy or rent or whatever.
Like on Amazon or Shudder or something.
Yeah, across the interwebs.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was okay. It seemed like a Twilight Zone episode. It
I
wasn't
don't mind
like
that.
Yeah, it wasn't big enough to really go to theaters, so they just released it online. It was a Bloom movie.
Bloom?
What's his name? Is it Jason Bloom? Bloomhouse.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was like, some new
Blumhouse
horror trope I'm not familiar with. A Bloom movie.
It's a Bloom. It grows as you watch it.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? I've never heard of this. Yeah, so Saint Maude came out. I want to see Saint Maude, which is about like a woman who I believe she feels like she's not. It's a portrait of a woman who feels she's not like devout enough, but I think she's like possessed by a demon. And she starts like torturing herself to test her faith and stuff. It's pretty grisly. It's kind of like torture porn, I think. The Other Lamb, which is about a young woman who's in a cult in the middle of the woods, and her cult leader guy. It's another kind of like slow burn, intimate portrait. He decides to move the whole cult because he feels like civilization's coming in. And this girl, she doesn't know like anything else, and suddenly she starts having all these like prophetic dreams and visions that something's wrong, and she realizes she's in a cult. Spoiler. What else I got on here? I've actually been getting caught up pretty good. Yeah. Of course, I saw the new Color Out of Space, and I loved it. I thought it was really good.
What's that?
Color Out of Space. It's an H.P. Lovecraft.
I think I've heard of it.
It has what's his foots? Nicolas Cage in it, who plays.
Oh, okay.
He plays a farmer who. Have you seen Annihilation?
Yeah.
A lot of people feel it was the inspiration for Annihilation. It's like the movie and the books. The Color Out of Space is an old H.P. Lovecraft story about a meteor that falls onto this farm up in New England and begins like warping the surrounding landscape and everybody who comes in contact with it. I feel like the movie was cool, but kind of missed the ball on a few things. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, it was okay. It was like, oh, okay, so that happened.
Yeah, like in the book, there's the mother. She is at home all the time because this was like back in the day when women were, barefoot and pregnant and not drawing comic books. And and she is at home while the men go off to farm and hunt and whatever. And so she's at the well and getting water and stuff. So she's exposed to the meteor a lot through the groundwater. And she gets super fucked up in the book. And the family has to like lock her in the attic. And they're like feeding her through a slot in the door or something. And she starts speaking this like weird language and stuff that they can't understand. And later one of the boys also kind of gets warped and they lock him in another room across the hall from her. And the two of them whisper to each other in this language. I'm like, oh, I want that. Do that in the movie. Like they didn't do that. They just like had a pile of llamas fused together or something. I can't remember. Not in the book.
Mm-hmm. You ever see Overwood? Like that war story?
What's his?
With Germans experimenting.
Wait, say it again.
Overlord.
Overlord.
Overlord. Yeah.
I don't
Came
know.
out, I don't know, 5 years ago, whatever it was. Maybe less. But yeah,
I
it
know.
was like this, I guess, small independent movie, and it's just really. I thought it was really fun.
Am I gonna see like people getting disemboweled and stuff? And I'm gonna be like, it is fun. This is a real treat.
It was. It was fun. I don't think it's that extreme. It's kind of.
Put it on my list. Onto the list it goes.
To me, it was kind of comic booky, which is probably why I liked it. But it's funny. I never really used to be into horror novels, although reading horror novels and watching horror movies are two different
Oh, cut out.
things. Not only because it's different media, rooting for the heroes. In the movies, it's all about the worst kind of. Oh, I cut out.
Yeah. What were
What'd
you
you miss?
saying? That you
uh,
there's a difference
I
between
just
reading
talking
and
about like I grew up. Yeah, I grew up reading horror novels, more like rooting for the hero in the stories I read, and the movies are more about the blood and guts of it. At least a
yeah,
lot of horror movies today.
I I'm definitely into like the slow burn horror movies or like the more intimate portraits of people and stuff. I mean like I'll watch a grisly thing every once in a while, but I'm more like into just sad, scary shit. The only thing that gets my black little heart beating these days. So
I would think like, especially now with everything that's going on, you want some like more comedies and things that take you away from reality.
oh, I guess I never really thought of them as being like reflective of reality, like not the one we're in right now anyway. I'm always like, I'm so glad that reality is not like witches eating people's legs. I don't know.
Yeah, but it seems like like on the popular lists of movies and TV shows now, or anything related to pandemic.
Yeah.
I mean, they might not be top number one, but it's like out of the blue, all these older shows and movies are popping up. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch that right now.
Midnight Meat Train. Just writing down all these horror recommendations.
I should go back and read some comments. All right, way back when. Okay, here we go. Um, no, I didn't. Have you seen? I think you mentioned this before. Have you seen that Batman eats a hot dog animation? No, I have
Yeah, I
not.
saw that.
And Star Dragon says, "I feel the same. I like Batman. Woo! Though I also really like Harley and Flash, but apart from those, I don't know much. It's like a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, it is.
Um, like Penguin and Riddler interpretations from Gotham. Okay,
Yeah, they
yeah,
were good.
I watched some of Gotham. I remember Penguin. I don't think I've seen Riddler.
Yeah, Riddler's interpretation was decent. I liked his.
Yeah. Mike W says, "Hey Peter, hey Mike, what you up to?"
Watching you.
Nah, everybody's here to watch you. Randy says, "I love Batman. Have been a huge fan my whole life."
Yeah, loves me some
Oh,
Batman.
little known fact: I had nothing to do with Batman. No.
I always
The creation of Batman.
low key. I would love to work on a Batman comic, but I know I would get stuck on like some shit I don't want to work on, and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, well, Loki's a fun character. I was never one for like any comic which the lead character was a villain, but if it's done right, it could be cool. Loki is like pretty much like he's in the movies
Oh
where
no, I didn't mean like Loki the
sometimes he's a
villain.
good
I was
guy and
like low key,
oh
I want to work on the comic. Sorry, I
oh
didn't mean. I was
oh
like,
Loki.
I
I
was
thought
like,
you
what?
said
No, it's cool, it's cool. I was like, wait, what are we talking about?
okay. Well, never
Sorry,
mind then.
I know nothing about Marvel, so I was like, oh god, wait.
So you want to work on Loki characters within a popular universe, or just
No, like low. How do you low key? It's slang, I guess. Is that slang? Low key. But like,
yeah, but in relation to
oh yeah,
like
I wanna work on a Scarecrow or a Mad Hatter comic. That would be like my dream. Or like not one
oh
necessarily
okay.
where they're like the focus, but just like characters. I think that would be super cool. Just like let me ink one line on one page, please.
I've done that.
I
Like um, back in the day when my brother and Joe Quesada were working on Daredevil. That run was written by Kevin Smith. Um, Joe had a background penciler, and Jimmy used me as background anchor, and I got to ink a lot of the key scenes, like in the church. It was really cool. It's like
did
to work on Daredevil in any fashion was excellent.
did you get like credit?
No, because unfortunately, like Jimmy has no problem handing out credit, but
I would have been like, fuck
you
this
know,
family and just stormed out. No.
well, Joe had a thing against giving others credit,
No, it's
because
cool.
Marvel. I mean, I've worked for Marvel like it was probably like 4 years, and I worked on a lot of miscellaneous. It was mostly X-Men stuff, and I get credit in the books, like not for everything, but there'd just be a huge stack of names. you know,
Yeah, I'd be like
it was
500 people worked on this.
yeah, it was ridiculous. Like I think it was an extra sized issue of Uncanny X-Men. I want to say like 360 or something. I don't know. For whatever reason, it was a bigger issue, and it was like, oh, I got credit, and it's like a bunch of other names, and meanwhile, I probably only inked 2 or 3 pages or whatever. It's like it's kind of excellent, but kind of meaningless at the same time. It's like I
In
want to ink a whole issue, man.
in Japan, it's like really common that people will like have their friends and family work on their comics and like none of them get any credit or anything.
Yeah, they use teams of people. You know,
Yeah, they
I
do. But
watched a
like,
video.
oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, like,
go ahead.
I know quite a few like Japanese artists and stuff who like, I guess just to sort of keep it in house or to keep production budget down, they're just like, Grandma, ink this page with me, and so like that's how they do it.
You never inked anything, but here, ink this.
Pretty much, they got them fill, spot blacking pages and putting tones in. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what I was gonna say was, I watched a video like this guy went to visit somebody who does a book all the time, and he has, I think he had at least 3 or 4 assistants, and yeah, they're fixing details, whatever he
yeah.
goes over with them. But they come in like once or twice a week, and mostly it's just him working on the book. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a whole different. I mean, it's a lot of work on a weekly basis that they get to push out.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked where it was a monthly schedule on a book, and that's just freaking murder. It's like my whole time was doing this book, get it out. Okay, jump on to the next book, get that out. Yeah, jump on to the next one, get that out.
Do you ever have like, so I've never worked in house for a studio. I've always just kind of
Right.
like done this shit, been a loser at home. So,
Yeah.
what do you have like a person who is like the final guy that like looks at the book and is like, this hand is jank, somebody fix this hand or something?
Well, I mean, Maude and DC, I would say, pretty much probably work the same. Um, I was more familiar with what was going on at Maude because it was all in the center of their office in the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
So I was more aware of it and saw it, and I actually worked there a couple of times, but that was like just because they needed pages inked right away. I was working in the bullpen. Mostly it's just production. But yeah, I mean, they have their editors on the book, but they also have like an art director, and the art director probably pulls things together at the last minute. That lettering's not right here. Do it over. Gives it to sort of the bullpen production staff
Got
to
it.
correct.
Whoever's not doing
That
something here.
Yeah, it's like that face is off. Fix it.
That's what.
They'll have like artists in production correcting things on books that I guess pass by the editor.
Yeah, I just wonder because like sometimes I'll like go over comic book pages for fun and like try to fix the anatomy or something because like I'm not like trying to be a dick and be like, oh, look at this fucked up anatomy piece, but like for practice and whatever. And I always wonder, like, I know at some point you just got to get the page out. I totally get that, but like sometimes I'm like, damn, like this really went through at some point, like.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Marvel and DC. They're putting out. I don't know. Back in the day, it was at least 90 books a month.
Yeah.
And so you're talking maybe 10, 20 books a week, depending, whatever. You just got to push them out.
No, I got it. I get it. I just like sometimes I wonder. I'm like, oh boy, that was a drawing for sure.
Yeah. I mean, what makes you a professional is that you're not the best at what you do, but you get the stuff out.
Yeah, you're done. Yeah, you get it done, and
Right. But that's why, you know, I want to do more what you're doing. You're just working on your own book, and you know, it's not
Living the dream, baby.
it's a schedule you it's a schedule you can keep, as opposed to, you know, somebody else breathing down your neck and just give me the pages. I don't care what it looks like. Give me the pages.
It's
Don't
just
be a fussy asshole.
Oh god, I'm super fussy about my pages. I've kind of gotten to a point where I don't have to be as much anymore, and the art's not like terrible. But man, some of my really, really old pages, like from 10 plus years ago, I'm just like,
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, all artists can be fussy given a chance. I am, you know.
I don't like this panel.
All
I don't
right,
like.
let me catch up.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I don't like
Go
when
ahead.
characters' heads are just cut off at the bottom of the panel. I think it looks weird.
Push her up a little.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
It's like she's standing on a rock or
Well,
something.
she's a little smaller than this other guy, so I'm like,
But yeah, that's like a tangent thing. It's like
yeah.
it just doesn't look right.
This is also why I draw my panels outside the original page, because I'm always faffing around with them.
Yeah, that's also something production will fix. If it looks off, which means it looks awful, then they'll go in and extend it or whatever they need to do. All right, so let me catch up on chat, and then we'll get back to normal business.
Normal business.
So normal business. The Joker was a bit disappointment to me. Marv Artwork says worse than the one from the '60s. I mean, I grew up in the '60s, and I watched that Batman show, but I was never a huge fan of that show. But you know,
Well, that's
there's
why.
enough people that love it. Yeah. DC doesn't do continuity, only reboots. Pretty much DC model, yeah. You know, they ever since they started renumbering everything, I got sick and tired of it. It's like you're not consistently anything, so I give up. And Sarah Ann says, "Wasn't that what his own movie was for?"
Yeah,
I'm guessing the Joker.
Yeah, that was like part of its own universe.
That was great. I like that.
Yeah, they're actually going to, according to the people behind that, it's going to be part of its own cinematic universe where they're just going to be like dark single DC portraits of characters, and I'm totally fucking down for that. So
I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh,
Well, you know, it's like
coming in and
they
telling
did
me
that.
Santa's not real. You're just shattering my hopes and dreams. Let me have it.
No. Everything's bullshit until it comes out in the theaters. No, it's the they Marvel did Sony did Amazing Spider-Man, which some of that was okay. I mean, I enjoyed the films, but it just crashed and burned at the end of the second movie when they were trying to bring together the Sinister Six villain characters and have them have their own movie or something. So I'm wary against, that sort of thing developing and happening and it being of anything quality. But we'll see. It could happen. Who knows? Comic Book Black Belt said, "Hi all, welcome Russ. For real, we need other villain origins. We don't even need origins, really, unless they're really important to the story. Just give us different villains. Um, Randall says Max Shrek.
Yes, that was the character that Christopher Walken played in.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. We're taking it back, way back.
Yeah. Marv Artwork says, I'll buy that for $1. That's from RoboCop. I used to love that saying. Buy that for $1. And Sarah N says, speaking of Batman, Joel Schumacher died. Yeah, I saw that just before I came here.
I was super bummed about that.
Yeah, Joel, he was a really great director, just not on Batman.
I low-key like his Batmans, but they're a very specific portrait of Batman,
Yeah.
like a 1983 crusty Batman or something. I don't know. Like they're like a really specific year of Batman comics. But I like them. They're weird. I like them.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I didn't really get caught up in bashing them or anything, but it's like I like Christopher Nolan's Batman better.
I don't know what I guess animated Batman, top Batman for me. It's such like a
Paul D.
Yeah.
Paul
Dini and Paul Bruce Timm, or Dini, however you pronounce it.
Yeah. Spectre on Netflix, sci-fi war movie. Don't watch the trailer. You'll like it. Okay. Yeah, we'll do.
All right, gonna go watch the trailer.
Is that the James Bond Spectre? No. Where am I? I got lost.
Sorry.
Oh, it's not your fault. Oh, okay. I know where I am. People saying hi. Oh, what do you guys think? This is Star Dragons. Rob Pat going to play the new Batman.
I mean, I'm down.
Who's Rob Pat?
Rob Patterson. He was in Lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know Robert Pattinson. I didn't get the shortness of his name. I was like, Rob Pat. Is that like my name is Pat from Saturday Night Live?
Oh God, wow, that's a throwback.
Well, I'm old. Let's see. Sad, scary horror are the best. Also, cosmic horror.
Yeah, I like cosmic horror.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything. Good story, great, execution. I
feel
Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah, I wrote that one down. I'm gonna check it out. That sounds really familiar. I feel kind of bad because I talk about horror a lot, when I'm on the mic with my fans, and a lot of them are like, I don't like horror, and I'm like, well, you don't have to, but I do. So, but I do feel like a lot of people feel sort of pressured to like horror, and I'm not sure where this is coming from. I don't know. Don't watch horror, man. If it's not your bag, if it's gonna upset you, don't watch that shit.
Yeah, there's definitely other genres. I don't mind.
I do run. Yeah, I run the gamut. I watch pretty much any movie. I'm kind of a cinephile, especially really shitty movies. I'm a huge shitty movie fan.
All right, I'm just catching up on comments. Everybody's saying hi. Oh, okay. The Howling, 1981. Anyone? Yeah, so that
sounds super familiar. Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it though. Not since I was a tiny bab.
That's the werewolves.
Yeah. I could see the cover. I know the cover.
So more of artwork goes. If we talk about horror comics, there's this guy who's making the Sin Killer. I hear it's really good.
What is that? I've
That's
never heard of it.
that's Marv Artworks comic.
Oh, I'm a fucking dip. I'm sorry.
No, you wouldn't know. How do you know?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I should know.
Oh, it's coming to HBO soon. No.
I was like, damn.
Aw. No, I'm kidding. He's just working on the first issue.
Oh, so it ain't even out yet.
No, it's not even out yet.
Oh,
it's
God.
like
I was like,
it's
well,
like
now
it's like my comic. I'm working on it.
Well, like if it's out, I should at least like know I should know the circle of people we hang out with, like our comics,
Mm. My circle of people changes. I find it's like who I was hanging out with 2 years ago has morphed into some people leaving, some new people coming in. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I have to admit, I don't read a lot of like Western horror comics. I read Western horror novels, so like books, and then like Asian horror comics. I find their comics to be like really fucking weird and scary, and I like that.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like a no holds bar thing over there.
Well, they do a lot of strange horror movies that the U.S. has copied and made their own variations on.
Yeah, def. Dark Water is like one of my favorite Asian horror films, and I guess they made a Western one, like an American one. I haven't seen it though.
Haven't seen it.
Good.
I like.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say I like the grunge. The original U.S. version.
Oh, The Grudge, yeah.
Yeah, and the original was good too. I watched that. I saw the trailer for the new American version.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Netflix, I
think. Maybe. I think it came out and left, the theaters a while back.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of the series. There's a Japanese series that's gonna be on. Never mind.
But no, the new one looked like, okay, why are you doing this again? And it doesn't look that great.
I know the one you're talking about. It didn't get very good reviews or anything.
It's like the first one was good. Then I think it's funny because it's like, there's that scene where it's Peter.
You've seen The Ring or know of The Ring, I assume?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the Japanese one?
I think so. I might have to check it out.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a really similar story, except the girl's name is Sadako in the Japanese version. Well, it's based on a series of books in Japan, and apparently the girl from Sadako, or the girl from The Ring, and the girl from the Grudge series in Japan are like Freddy versus Jason, and they had a crossover movie in Japan at one point where it was like Sadako versus the Grudge chick. I forget what it was about, but it was like, I was like, I'm down for this. Like, Sadako's just like whipping TVs and like VHSs around now.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, the books were pretty weird.
Let's see. I missed something. I'm trying to keep up with this chat. It's going.
Oh, Reckless.
Okay. Was the editor blind when Marvel let Rob Liefeld do those abominations?
Poor old Rob. He'll never escape that.
Yeah, but okay, here's the fact. Rob is a good artist. Rob does what Rob does because it sells, and he gets away with it.
Yeah.
If the fact that something of his was an abomination was like, well, you could point to any artist out there, and you can find something just as crippling.
Yeah. I have to admit, the first time I saw, God, way back in like the GeoCities days, when there was like a website dedicated to like all his bad art, I remember like being like, look at this shithead, and then thinking at the same time, I'll never be this good. Like,
Yeah.
I just so badly wanted to work in comics, and I'm so glad nobody's ever made like a page dedicated to me and how shit I am, because I would just like curl up in a ball and die in the back corner of the basement or something.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet? No.
I'm traumatized.
Why? Your work is so beautiful. What are you talking about?
Oh.
Nobody would do that.
Got a few people in my day.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of Rob and his work, and, everything's not perfect, but I'll never make the money he's made in comics.
Oh, yeah, didn't he create Deadpool?
Deadpool, yeah.
Sorry,
he had
I
a hand
don't
in that.
know. I don't know Marvel very well, so I'm like, that is Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, God. Oh.
That's Archie Comics. No, it's
Oh shit, Archie coming in out of nowhere with the Deadpool. Can you fucking imagine?
Hey, Jughead, where's Deadpool?
Oh my God. Archie also did like Casper and stuff, right? They still do Casper, don't they? And Richie Rich, all that shit.
Archie Comics is Archie Comics. Okay, Richie Rich, wasn't that? I'm forgetting now. Harvey Comics.
Oh, it is Harvey. It is Harvey.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
No worries. Okay, so. Oh, I used to go like every week to the movies before the Rona. Oh, okay, Corona.
Oh, the Rona, that's what everybody calls it here.
I thought that was there's a Netflix movie about a maid. I think it was Rona. Anyway, it was really good, black and white.
Thank you.
Love a flick that's style over substance. Oh, I saw a movie when it came out, and I was looking for it the other day, and I got to find it somewhere so I could watch it again. It was the cook, his wife, her lover, and his friend, or something. It's like it's just like four different things. It's a foreign movie with subtitles. It might be French. Helen Mirren.
It might be French.
It might be French. Well, it's a foreign language. It's not English.
Well, I'm glad you knew that much.
But it was very stylistic. Even had nudity. It's like
even.
I just even had no. I prefer movies with nudity where it's just like artsy. It's not gratuitous or anything. It's
what?
nudity in movies.
Moodity.
It's okay. So comic book black belt Russ asked me, "Where's my comic, Peter? Did you order one for me? Besides retro, because that's still in the process. Let me know, because I don't think so." And Star Dragon, that's something I definitely want to do, read comics. I started reading the new Lokai ones. Not low key, but Lokai. Yeah, the only problem with reading something good that's coming out through Marvel and DC, it's not going to go on. It's like even back in the 90s when I was working on Aquaman, um, you know, it's like Eric Lawson took over the writing, and therefore the whole art team had to change.
Why? Why? I want to know why.
Uh, because the same excuse they always give: the numbers aren't as good as we want them. Um, Peter David was writing, Jim Cavalieri penciling, I was inking. The book at that time was in the top 100 books. It was ranging around 78, and they said, no, it's not selling good enough, but it's Aquaman, it's not Batman. It's not it's not going to be a top book.
Quick, give him a hook. Give him a hook for a hand. They'll sell.
But so Eric Larson took it over. I didn't read it because I was reading the book as I was working on it, and I knew all the plots and whatever, and I figured anybody who takes this over is just going to change everything. So I think I'm pretty sure it didn't do as good.
Were you pre or post Hook Aquaman?
I was during.
I mocked the
that
hook.
was when Peter David.
So sorry, I mocked the hook.
He had a hook on his hand, and did it change while I was on it? No, I think Eric Lawson is the one that changed and made it water instead of a hook.
It's the most badass thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
But I like that my run of Aquaman was more rugged Aquaman.
True.
He had armor and different costume.
Yeah, he wasn't like whispering sweet nothings to dolphins or anything.
Hear me, my children. He's talking to the fishies. But I did have an issue where on the cover, there was a dolphin all ripped to shreds, and it was dead.
Was he holding it and crying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was basically Mom. That was. I don't know how. I forget how it connected, but that was like his mother.
Was she like reincarnated as a dolphin or something?
I don't remember now, but all I remember is the editor said, "Yeah, that's Aquaman's mom." I was like, "What?" I don't remember that in his origin.
Hot. His dad was getting some dolphin taint. Sorry. I don't know. I don't read Aquaman. That could very well be going on over there. I don't know what's happening in Aquaman.
At this point, I should say, hey, subscribe to my channel for more of this.
Sorry.
No, it's funny.
Son, I want you to meet my slam piece. She's a dolphin. Maybe it was like his stepmom.
Yeah.
Where did Aquaman even come from? I should know this. I really should.
Well, it's in the movie, which is pretty much the comic, I believe, because he's been reinvented a bunch of times, but it's, a lighthouse man meets mermaid, and they do it in Aquaman.
Do what?
Let me tell you about the birds and the fishies.
Speaking of like dolphins and mating with them, this is where this is going. Did you ever hear about the dolphin experiments back in the 70s?
Put lasers on them?
No. They were like
Oh.
they were trying to teach dolphins to talk, and all these major institutions funded this project to try to it's so weird because it's like, why would you try to teach dolphins to talk? Just like try to understand dolphins, you dickwads. Anyway, but it basically ended with them giving the dolphins acid and like masturbating them. Subscribe for more content.
It's like, I think government funding, like they have to use the money, so they come up with these crazy notions, and projects like that get funded.
Well, to be fair, back then they were like putting acid into every experiment ever. They were like, hey, look, we're like trying to raise really awesome tomatoes. Let's give them LSD. And so they were just like, every project ever had like LSD and acid attached to them. But yeah, the dolphin experiments are really interesting. If you ever want to look them up, go for it. They're wild. They're absolutely wild. They have a really depressing ending. I'm sorry, the dolphin dies. But yeah, it's kind of a sad ending. But I mean, up until he died, he was living it up. He was like getting masturbated every day and dropping acid. So, I mean, that's a life there.
Well, I guess that's more fun than, being shot into space or something, like a monkey.
Can we put a dolphin in space?
Put a dolphin in space. Isn't like space like, it's like the ocean, but it's just,
it's kind of cold.
Not. Yeah.
Let's put
it's black.
Put little parkas on them. Little dolphin parkas. Send them up there.
Yeah, as long as they have a decent, helmet, I'm sure they'll survive.
This is like the exact conversation the Russians were having before they started shooting dogs into space. I'm sure it'll be fine. Come on, Laika, get in the pod where you're going up.
No, it'd be like the first astronaut. No, I'm not going. Here, I'll put my dog in there. They won't know the difference.
Oh God, poor Laika. We got to beat them Americans. Shoot some animals up in space. Oh God, it's so sad, but it's so funny.
Wasn't there like when this whole Corona thing happened? Wasn't there actually people in the space station? Are they still up there?
Oh yeah, they are still up there, from what I understand, and they aren't coming back ever. No, I'm kidding.
They're like clean. We're clean. We're not coming down to dirty Earth.
Yeah, well,
we don't have the virus.
I track the ISS from time to time because I'm that kind of a bitch, I guess. And so whenever they come by, I go out and wave in my yard. I'm like, hi, ISS. But yeah, I think they're still up there. I think it's still fully manned. I think it's definitely manned on the Russian side. I think we're still up there though. But I heard the Russian side. I don't know if this is a lot of bullshit, but I've heard the Russian side of the ISS is filthy. So, like, it is very dirty.
Not to disrespect my Russian viewers.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's not their fault.
If I have any. But well, there was the SpaceX and NASA collaboration.
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, they're up there right now.
Yeah, that sent their ship up in space not too long ago. When I first heard about SpaceX, what are they doing? Oh, like wireless. I first heard about them having free Wi-Fi for everybody, which is not the case. It's like they're getting Wi-Fi for areas that don't get it or something, and but they're going to charge.
Oh.
I thought it was supposed to be free. I was like, the whole, all they have to do is shoot, 300 rockets into space, and the whole world will have free Wi-Fi. That would be awesome. But no, that's not it.
Man, it is so crazy to see how far like internet and television and everything has got like come. When I was a kid, I lived so far out in the sticks that like we didn't have anything. We had nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's still possible. There's places where, they just can't get internet. Like in the small town of Kentucky I'm at, I don't have the strongest internet, and there's only 2 providers that can get me internet. But there are blackout areas, not too far from here, where you get nothing. I mean, isn't there like internet gizmos you can have attached to your laptop that you can get Wi-Fi anywhere? Maybe it's satellite Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you can get like data. Sure. I think I don't know how that works exactly though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm clueless like how the stuff works.
And when I was a kid, I wanted cable so bad. And everybody else had it. And I'm not.
Well, I was before cable. I was like, I just had network television growing up.
We had like 3 channels growing up.
Well, it was 3 plus PBS plus UHF, which is like...
Yeah, we didn't have UHF. I would have loved that, though.
UHF was like YouTube. Like,
yeah, it was great.
Hi, I'm Tom, and this is my show. Today's guest, it would be like some guy in his basement, like with a curtain.
Hey, Russ, what do you think about Tyler James, the Kickstarter guru? What's that?
Oh, I gotta catch up.
Sorry.
Let me get there. Okay, so really quick. Where was it? Read more comics. Okay. More of artwork. REC, R-E-C, is a zombie movie.
That movie's
Spanish
great.
and very good. But the U.S. did a version. Okay.
Yeah.
Not so good, less scary and intimidating. Oh, okay. I didn't know there were different versions of that. I thought finally we get an original United States movie, but no, guess not.
Yeah, the Spanish version's great. I've never seen the American.
So Salazar showed up. Hello, hello. Everybody saying hello. Archie had the Punisher visit them once.
Really? That's so crazy.
I guess it's small letters or whatever. Oh, no, Archie Comics. Okay, sorry, when we were talking about that. This thing wants to jump ahead. Where was it? Okay, and there's a lot of dolphin talk.
Sorry.
Okay, so Salazar goes, Peter, you were responsible for Hook Aquaman. Yes, it was my idea. No, he got the hook way before I joined the crew. That was all Peter David. And my funny Peter David story was, I was working on Aquaman. I was like, me and Carol Fury became like the pickup crew for the regular art team. We would do fill-in issues, and then when they, made us the full-time team, we were on the book for a while, and I met Peter David for the first time at a comic book convention, and I walked up to him, and it was him and his wife at the time before he got divorced, and I said, "You don't know me, but I just want to say hello. I'm Peter Palmiotti. Work on Aquaman with you." And he's just like shook my hand and kind of had a blank look on his face.
Nice.
And his wife goes, "You don't know who works on your team?"
Jesus, dude. Oh my God. If I was his wife, I would have slapped the shit out of him.
Well, they got divorced, so I guess, yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. Okay. Down. I get it.
So, sorry, and
is that how like he greets his children? Like his wife comes in with their kids, and she's like, "These are our children," and he just has a blank look on his face and shakes their hands one by one.
Which one is this one again? Like I could picture him standing there with his hands over the kid's ears. Which one is this?
Hello, Father. I work on your family together.
I'm the one responsible for your happiness. But thanks for not remembering my name.
Oh, God. That is so cringy on his part, man. Like, I would be honored to have people like working on something with me. I would be like, I'd be their gopher. I'd be like, "Do you need anything to drink?"
But first of all, understand this is before internet.
Okay.
And I was up in the DC offices a lot, just picking up pages, dropping off pages, whatever. But I never ran into him there. And it's like there were no pictures flying around with my face on it, or it's like he had no clue who I was.
I think it's gotten even a little more like distant as like time has gone on. I was at before the Iron Curtain of coronavirus came down. I was at like a drawing meetup thing, and the guy sitting next to me was coloring for Teen Titans, I think. One of the new Teen Titan books. I don't know. He was working on drawing a Cyborg. Maybe it was Justice League. I can't remember. Anyway, and I remember I was like, "Oh, wow, that's so cool. You're just like sitting here next to me in Pittsburgh coloring on DC, And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "So how do you get into doing that?" And he's like, "Well, I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy." He was like so far down the food chain, of like comic people. And he's like, "I'm just doing this for some side money." And I'm like, God, that's crazy to me that like people are working on DC comics. They're just like, "Yeah, I'm trying to pay for my dog walker." It's like so far down.
This is where I'm not working for DC Marvel now. It's because like the rates are lower. Like I understand. Okay, in the 90s, the comic industry was running hot, and people were making great money. I was making an average wage back in the 90s, but if I was to go there now, it would be lower than it was in the 90s, and I was barely getting by then.
Yeah.
Even making a good wage on a popular book, that's why I'm going your route. And this is where you tell everybody you're highly successful. Buy
my book.
But the potential of at least making better money off your own creation, and pretty much it will be a lifetime that you'll get money from it, as opposed to one and done. You get a page rate at Marvel or DC, and then I did get royalties on Aquaman when they made the movie, but that was counter to the contract I signed at the time, and they came up with a new contract. But it wasn't that much. It was like a cut of, they finally collected sort of my run in two different volumes. And I got a check, and it came with a list. It was like, this is what you made on this issue. And it was like, $7.34.0009 or something. It's like, wow, you calculated it down to the penny. So it was, it wasn't much, but it was like money I would have never got if they didn't say, okay, we'll cut a new contract and get you some of this royalty money.
You're lagging so bad, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, no, I've never been paid by a third party for any of my work, like other than just like commissions, but I mean like my comic stuff, So
Yeah.
I've done anthologies, but they were never paid gigs or anything like that. I just did them because I did them. I did them because I wanted to. Let's set this as like a high priority. Let's set inking as a high priority. Please don't crash my computer. Little inking program of mine.
Is that where I was delayed? Because you're inking?
Oh god, it's like really chugging. I don't know what's going on with this poor thing. Well, I might just be sketching. I'm gonna go sketch it back in Photoshop where it's safe. I'll just ink this later. It's no big deal. But what was I gonna say? I don't remember. Yeah, no, someday I'd like to like work with other people on something, like on a comic, just so I can be like, look, I did the thing. I did a big adult comic thing. But I just don't have time anymore. I just want to work on Trying Human and
Well, when you get that done, if you want to put my name on the list.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
of working on something. It could be small, could be like, here's a 3-page story we did.
Yeah, I've done like I've written other comics. I just have no fucking time to do them. They're all like shorts and stuff. But
yeah.
But yeah, I love me some comics. I never thought in a million years I'd end up in comics, which is so weird because it's like all I did as a kid was all I did was draw comics and read comics. But I was like, I better go into animation.
Well, I was different, but the same. I was like, I grew up reading comics and loving comics, and I watched the shows related to comics, and it's hard to remember that far back, but I think I remember like wanting to do comics when I got older, and it changed as I went through school and in college. Like when my father like finally woke me up and said, "Hey, you should probably get a job." I was in college, and so I got a part-time job as a messenger, and that became my full-time job. Is like, then I worked in mailrooms and ran a mailroom and everything else. And the reason why I didn't jump into comics then was because I thought it was, art and comics. It's, art is too precious to me. I don't want to make a living off of it. How foolish is that? But and now I don't make a living off it. No, I can make more money. That's for sure.
I grew up watching tons of animated films. So there was this idea of like, well, if I want to be a storyteller, I'll go into that. for some reason, I really had my head in like, I need to be an animator. And then once I got into college for animation, I spent the whole time just working on Trying Human, like planning Trying Human. Like I wasn't actually like doing the comic yet, but I was just writing stuff about Trying Human and reading everything I could about ufology and like developing the characters and like writing bits of the script and stuff. And then it's like finally I grad, but the whole time, like as in my college courses, I'm just like, I'm gonna animate for the mouse, I'm gonna work at Disney because it's like what everybody was kind of hoping I would do. It was like the Harvard of animation jobs or something. And I was just miserable. we moved all the way out to California, and I was like this close to getting in at Disney. And at the time, Disney wasn't doing, I mean, they've always done well. Obviously, they're not like closing their doors anytime soon, but their traditional animation department was like closing its doors. And that's what I had studied to do. That's what I wanted to do, was like traditional. And they were like, well, we're going to CGI, and that's, get your big break at CGI. And I'm like, oh God, get me out of here. It's like, so I just, like, from there, I was just like, well, I guess I'm just going to do Trying Human. And that's what I did. I just like went home and kept working on Trying Human. And here I am today.
There you go. Well, I wish I would have planned something when I was still in school, but I don't know. My 20s were wasted youth. I I got into comics. I started doing comics for a living when I was 28. So I ended my 20s well. But I took up cartooning and animation in high school, but the only thing animation wise that I remember doing was doing a flip book. So it wasn't intensively animation as far as I remember.
Yeah, I don't know if this was like an obvious thing growing up, but there really felt like there was this divide of like, if you were in art and you wanted to do it as a career, it was like women were in animation and then men were in comics. And so like I felt sort of like, well, I guess I do, if I want to be a storyteller, I can't do comics. I don't really know how I got this in my head, but that's kind of, there weren't like a lot of
Well,
girl comics out at the time that were like any good, and
yeah, I mean, like things were very male dominated back when, and I saw somebody post the other day. It's like it's a female who's black, and she was posting, I'm a black female, and it's like I'm looking for work or something to that extent. And it's tough in this industry. There's still ways the push for more diversity in comics and animation and actresses and actors, and it's like everything across the board, as well as just get rid of freaking racism and do away with stupidity of the world.
Yeah, like it was my fault for thinking that. I mean, nobody ever came out to me and was like, "Comics are for boys. Get the hell out." It was nothing like that. I never had anybody like grind down my little dreams. But I just I don't know where I kind of like got that idea. I think also because I encountered a lot more girls and women growing up that were like in animation, so I was like, well, that's where I need to be. Yeah, that's where the people are, or whatever. I don't know. It's stupid. I didn't have like a good idea of like who or what I was as an artist, and
well, we don't know a lot until we know. I mean,
yeah,
until we're doing it. It's like we're all idiots until we, get somewhere and make a name for ourselves. Then we're just idiots who have a name for ourselves. All right, I swear I'm going to catch up this time.
Sorry.
So many comments, so many people talking. It's not. It's a great thing. If we get more viewers, then I feel I will never catch up. Let's see. Okay, so everybody was saying hello. Archie Comics, right. Deadpool became famous because the writing was good, in my opinion. Rob just rip off Deathstroke.
I've heard
That's
that.
more artwork. Okay. I missed Randy's comment. It said he co-created, but it was Fabian Nicenti that breathed life into the character and gave him a personality. That's probably the case. So it was Rob and Fabian that created Deadpool. Um, yeah, but it could be a rip-off of Deathstroke, but you get to a certain point and every character seems like a rip-off of some other character, so there's truth to what you say, man. I'm just saying, be kind to strangers. Rob, Rob Liefeld has mad love for Deadpool. Absolutely, that's his money bank. I don't know if he makes direct money from it, but he definitely keeps his fame going with the success of Deadpool. Black Belt says I did, yes. So message me on Facebook, Russ, if you ordered something. I'm missing it in my records. Okay, so I missed the chunk before. Okay, we're back to the dolphin was his only real friend. Supposedly, dolphins, this is David Goldstein, are the only critters on Earth besides humans who mate recreationally.
Yep.
Possibility. I think I heard something like that.
I thought it was a
Um,
type of monkey or chimp that did. Okay, anyway, sorry.
yeah, could be. Let's ask. I don't have any chimps around. The dolphins had to use puppets to show where the bad scientists, bad scientists touched them. That infamous comment was Russ, otherwise known as Comic Book. Well, go check out his channel. He's awesome. And he'll be on a future episode. Yes, I remember reading about the dolphin experiment. Sadly, Star Dragon said, Sarah, and they put a whale into space in South Park. It died on the moon.
Oh yeah, that was a great episode.
Our story of Lakia is also sad, but at least they made a statue of her.
Oh, Laika, yeah.
Like a
First dog in space.
the helmet tests on monkeys were brutal. Yeah. And David Goldstein repeats what we said earlier. They just sent 2 astronauts up a few weeks ago. Big SpaceX launch. Yep, that was successful. I was excited about that because it was like the first U.S. thing for 9 years. I guess the first thing that NASA did in 9 years. So, yeah, this chat keeps wanting to go to the end. I want to make sure I don't miss anything fun. Oh, yeah, I missed a whole bunch.
Man, I am getting some lag in my drawing programs today. I don't know what's going on.
What about drawing by hand?
I don't
It's
have
a
a
lost
camera.
art.
I mean, I do it. I just don't have a camera. I could just be over
Yeah.
here like, okay, I'm drawing another line.
Let me describe to you in detail what I'm working on.
It's basically the best thing ever.
Okay, I got my space. Salazar, I'm back. I was sharing the stream with my Russian friend who
Oh
was
fuck.
raised by dolphins.
Oh
What I
fuck.
miss?
Oh fuck.
We're screwed.
For you bitches were over here talking about my dolphin mothers and our filthy space stations.
We used to masturbate our astronauts.
Whoa, what?
What? Okay, so David Goldstein, I think the SpaceX Starlink program focus is initially supposed to be areas with zero infrastructure because it's small villages and 100 miles from the next one. Oh, okay. Talking about the getting internet to people who don't have. So all of Africa, I guess.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Hey, I have internet.
I
I'm
would
gonna
think.
slap you.
No, I'm just saying. Like, do they have internet in the jungles? I mean, I would think that's a hard place to get internet.
Okay, well, I don't know about like the most remotest of the remotest, but I mean, like
I
in
mean,
general, the continent has it.
yes, the continent. I'm sure all continents have. Some don't prefer not to have internet.
Antarctica has
Like
no.
no internet
Yeah, no internet.
whatsoever over there.
No, they do
Yeah.
actually. Have you heard about the Antarctica like hookup story?
No, I don't think so.
There were two scientists down there, and they were using the not gay Tinder. What's or is Tinder the gay one? I don't remember. They were using like a hookup app, and
Right.
because they were both stationed on Antarctica, but at different stations, they were like the only two people in the region, and so they were like, hey, and they hooked up. So yeah, they got internet down there.
There you go.
I'm drawing like a too cute fish man. I don't want to draw a cute fish man. I need to draw a disgusting fish man.
Aquaman's a cute fish man.
This ain't no Shape of Water. Get this shit out of here.
That was a good movie.
Yeah, it was. It was decent.
All right, so I'm trying to catch up.
Sorry.
And this is what you read before. Hey Russ, what do you think about Tyler James, the Kickstarter guru? Tyler James is a guy that teaches comic creators how to be a successful Kickstarter. Yeah, I mean, I personally know of Tyler James. I mean, lots of people know of Tyler James. I don't know him personally, but he's done Kickstarters and he was successful. Therefore, he started teaching others, and I'm sure he has good tips. But some things I like to, brutally learn on my own.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I take the long road sometimes, but at least I feel like I have acquired more knowledge that way.
I'm definitely I'm kind of a stick in the mud. I don't like to let other people help me, and I know it's not good.
I was going to say I have some advice for you.
What the fuck?
No.
Just
No,
close the stream and leave. No.
Yeah, it's I feel the same way. It's like and this is also thinking about like I want to create my own comic universe and develop my own stories, and I have very specific ideas going in. It's not laid out like your book was, but in regards to like how a lot of fans can get upset about storylines and how the big two will change books and characters based off of negative reflections in the audience. I personally don't believe in that. Like if you, the creator, have a vision for your comic, stick with it, man. It's like the audience will find you. It may not be the audience that reading your book now, but you know, um,
Yeah, I'm definitely like going through that right now. There's like a major character who in my comic, spoilers to anybody who's here from Trying Human, who's gonna die next chapter, and everybody is gonna be so fucking pissed at me about it, and I might have to get off the internet for like a couple days or something.
well,
And
I
actually, it
mean,
like really disturbs me how invested some people are in this all of a sudden, and I'm like kind of like, oh shit, yeah, like
you got to stick with your vision. I mean,
no,
there's a
I
purpose
know.
to. Yeah. You don't see people going online saying, I really love The Shining, but I really wish they changed the ending. Can you change the ending, Stephen King? Can you go back and rewrite that ending?
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
Stephen King. Um, no, it's funny too because like I don't know, I think my investment in other people's fictional worlds is not. I don't know, maybe it's on the same level that a lot of folks get invested with stuff. Because like I read something and I'm like, huh, that was interesting or that was sad or whatever, and I move on. But like sometimes people send
Yeah.
me shit and I'm just like, oh God, please don't come to my house and like bang my door down.
Well, it's like you like Batman. I'm sure you've read Batman stories that didn't go as you would like.
Hell yeah. Like every Scarecrow comic doesn't end up with me having sex with him. What's the deal, DC? Get on that. No, okay. Um my fish guy still looks kind of pathetic. I don't know what to do.
Needs a fish tattoo.
Put a hook in his ear.
give him a hook on his hand. All right. I'm gonna finish reading this chat. Everybody's doing a good enough job commenting. I feel like I have to read it. Okay, so if you have any suggestions for Emy, please drop them in the
Whoa,
chat.
whoa, 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 whoa.
In regards to changing the story of a comic.
Whoa!
No, kidding. Kidding. So my friend Randall says, I'm leaving to go find my Aquaman back issues now. I may have questions. I'm sure when we were talking about the mom dolphin.
I am
Let's
definitely gonna go
see.
look that up, by the way.
I did like research it at some point, but I forget the details. I'm not working on the book anymore. But I like the character. So comic book back no goes at Salazar Art Nation. I think I'm on the email list. He seems to know what he's talking about, meaning Tyler James. Can't comment much more than that. And he says, that's some great art, Emy. Lovely style. And you say thank you. I noticed he didn't say anything about my work, but
It's because yours is fantastic and nothing else needs to be
Aw.
said.
Well, this is retro issue 1 is penciled by my friend Rich Fuchsia, and I'm just inking the book, well, writing and publishing and all that. But I'll be the artist with issue 2 on, because Rich has gone on to paint full time, so that's what he's up to.
Oh wow!
Since there's more money in painting than in comics. And,
Well,
you know,
I'm busting my oils out now.
but so then Salazar says, "Oh, that's who she is. I came in late." And he goes, "I did an anthology recently. I'm doing another one. No money at all."
Yeah.
Yep. It's for the practice and the exposure, and
Mm-hmm.
To make new friends and create with other creators. All right, Star Dragons goes, "I participated in an anthology once, but never got the book. Rip."
Oh, get the book.
Yeah, get a copy of the book. They need to give you that. Marvel artwork goes, "Neil Adams never got a cent when Sony put Havoc on screen, and he created that character. Shame." Yeah, well, Marvel. I'm trying. Well, I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of Marvel in regards to if anybody makes money off of any characters on the screen that worked on the comics. But
yeah, does Marvel have like one of those rules that like if you make a character that's like under their cloak, you can't then later be like, "That's my baby," and try to.
yeah, I mean, things change, but I haven't heard otherwise, and that's pretty much what I've heard. But it's been years since I really am aware of what anything that we're doing. But I did have an opportunity to work on Iron Man for a couple of issues. I didn't ink full issues, but I did a bunch of pages on like a 2-part story. And so when Iron Man the movie came out, I was like, yeah, I worked on that character.
How many
So
millions did you rake in?
Well, I bought a Lamborghini, then got drunk and totaled it. No.
Nice. Living the Marvel dream.
Woo! We're all rock stars. I tell you. And Salazar, he says, "Russ, fair enough. I signed up for free PDF he was offering. Comic book black belt." Russ goes, "Introducing Emy, whoever that is. Subbed your channel. Nice. Great stuff."
That's me. That's me.
I know. Yeah, everybody, if you don't know her work, you should definitely subscribe to her channel, read her webcomic, check out her work everywhere. I demand it of all my subscribers.
I'm just doodling so much bullshit over here.
So more talk about Tyler Dame, more talk about subbing, introducing Emy, yada yada.
Oh, yada yada.
Okay.
I need to learn. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I need to learn how to do like more vascular characters, with veins and like muscles popping out everywhere.
Oh, you should practice on like Venom, because the more like fan art I see of Venom, he's like, was he like just a little taller than Peter Parker originally?
I literally have no clue.
Oh, who Venom is? Oh.
I kind of know who. Like I can sort of picture him. He's like all black with like white whooshes and a bunch of teeth. Yeah.
Yeah. It's essentially Peter Parker, Spider-Man went into space.
That's already more than I know. So you're educating the children
I'm
over here.
Yeah. So him and a lot of other Marvel characters went into space to fight the Secret Wars, which is a crossover of the entire Marvel universe. Maybe like the Marvel universe without the X-Men. I forget exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Years and years ago, but
Yeah.
he acquired this new costume, which turned out to be a Cenobite with a mind of its own, and became Venom, its own thing. So that's the short origin.
I just see like a lot of gay porn of Venom. That's how I know the character.
And why do you see that?
Because I'm a lady of culture. That's why.
Ah, research. I know.
Uh, do you like Frank Frazetta?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, never got to meet him, but I love his work. Yeah.
I met
He's
his
a.
huh?
I was gonna say he's a Brooklyn boy, and so am I. So
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I
yeah.
met his wife and his crazy fucking son when they moved to Pennsylvania. I went to their little museum out here, and
Right.
yeah, they're cool. Sorry, I'm drawing like I don't know, kind of something that makes me think of Frank Frazetta's stuff. He always did like Monkey Men and stuff when he was working on like Conan and
Yeah.
shit like
Yeah.
that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I pretty much everybody, like, I remember being in high school around the time when, like, this is 81.
I wasn't even an idea yet.
Oh, um, around the time when there were like these first art books of Frank Frazetta and Boris Vallejo, and those two fantastic artists coming out, and they were both really popular and super hot.
Super sexy
Yeah,
Frank
I always
Frazetta.
like Frank. I always love Frank's work. It's funny. I posted something once, not too long ago, on Facebook with Frank's work, and not to my post, but to somebody's comment. Somebody got an argument about Frank Frazetta. Oh, Frank's this or that. I don't even want to say. But I was like, this is my this is my Facebook profile. Nobody. You want to argue? Go to yours. I just deleted it.
Oh God, it's so funny because like, I'm gonna tell you like a little Frank Frazetta drama story right now. We're gonna get into it.
Okay.
When I went out to meet, well, I didn't go there to like meet anybody. I was just going there to see the original Frazettas, and this museum out in middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and his wife was there, his son was there, and stuff. And she was super nice, by the way. His wife, oh my God, she was so nice. And like, anyway, long story short, we kind of kept up with the Frazettas, just like in the news, like because since they lived in Pennsylvania, if there was anything about them, it would like pop up on our radar and stuff. And we saw that the wife had died before Frank, and I was like, holy shit, because Frank was like not in good health. So I was shocked that his wife died before him. And then his son like went ballistic and plowed the museum down. and like destroyed the building and stuff. Oh man, that was crazy times. And Frank died. Now the whole family's like fighting over like his art and
Yeah. A friend of mine had.
I hope I have some grubby fucking kids like that someday.
A friend of mine had, I guess, Frank's daughter on his channel and interviewed her and.
Oh yeah, that's what somebody's saying in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, all things Frank Fazetta and whatnot. I was lucky enough before they had the Frank Fazetta Museum set up. They did a tour, so it came to New York, and I was able to go and check it out and see all of the illustrations and paintings and comic pages in person. And it was like, I was just staring at the layers of ink and wash and whatever, layers of paints on the paintings.
The way this museum was set up was they had these like sensors so like nothing was like under glass. His paintings, his drawings and everything were just like out in the open on the walls and tables. And they had these sensors that if you got too close to the pictures, they would go off. And we were there for like a couple hours, and the whole time we were there, the sensors were just going off like crazy because people would lean in to like point at something in the picture and be like, "Oh, look at that big titty bitch," and like, yeah, and it would just like go off like crazy. And the poor wife, she was just like, "I'm sorry, you can't get that close," It's really cringy and awkward, but oh god, yeah, he was super nice.
Yeah, I never met Frank. My brother did, but yeah, loved his work. He was definitely a master.
Yeah.
He's excellent artist, and he's an excellent inker as well.
And now he's an excellent angel in heaven. I don't know. He's probably in hell, but
no. No.
I'm just teasing.
All right, so Russ says, drawing now, waiting for my dinner. My son is cooking fajitas. I'll probably do a live show tomorrow. Awesome. Yes, go check out Comic Book Black Belt and subscribe to his channel. Maude, it's Russ. He's always drawing. Oh, okay. They're talking amongst themselves. Fajitas, always mate. I love fajitas. I'm Latino. Okay. Off now. My tummy is rumbling and my son is calling. Great chat, peeps, as usual. Speak soon, Peter. Great show. And introducing Emy is awesome. Yes, she is.
Thank you.
That's why I keep having her back.
That's what my mom says.
That's a given. Well, it should be a given. Not all families are the same. Some families are not so good.
This is my Unga Bunga man.
Looks good. Oh, sounds like Art Nation goes, Batman was a ripoff of the Shadow. I love them both. Kind of, sort of. I mean, it was the times. More food talk. Okay, so where? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was also a huge R. Crumb fan when I was a teenager. I was like so obsessed with R. Crumb. I don't know why.
He did those comics with an X.
Yeah. He did like Felix the Cat, or not Felix, God, Fritz the Cat. Yeah, not the one with the magic bag. The one who did all the drugs. Yeah, I was just like, my parents would buy me his sketchbooks because back then I don't think he does it as much anymore, but he used to he would do a sketchbook like a year or every 6 months, and they would just publish it like a book, and my parents would get them for me. was like, thanks, Mom. So they're absolutely like horrific. You know, like there was tons of like super racist, sexist, just awful things in his books. He was just, you know, he just drew whatever. But I was so obsessed with his art style. I just loved it, like the chunky, inky, like cross hatching. I just, you know,
Yeah.
I was so into that stuff, man. Ugh. My parents still buy me Art Crumb stuff every now and then. I got weird fucking parents,
Why?
okay?
They sound great. Why do you think they got it for you? To
Because
see
they,
what his
well,
artwork?
my parents like Art Crumb. I mean, they like his art. Well, my dad more so, but they get me like Art Crumb stuff, like his books. He did like I think he did the first book of the Bible recently as a comic. My dad forgot that he already got it for me, and he got it for me again. So now I'm gonna sell the extra one on eBay. So, oops, poor daddy.
Happens. Is he forgetting?
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Mm-hmm.
He's my boyo, though. I probably shouldn't say that because he's probably
Yes.
gonna watch this later. Maybe he'll forget.
Well, you know, it's all our destiny,
Yeah, I
one
know.
way or another.
My parents, they're pretty cool though. They've always been super supportive of like all my weird hobbies and interests and stuff.
I mean, you know, it was because of my dad that you know, me and Jimmy got into going to conventions and really, you know, picking up comics. You know, my dad took us both to our first convention. It was like uh, in a hotel basement, like a dive hotel in the edge of Brooklyn, and he took us there, and it was like a nothing convention, but it's a wide open room with all the dealers on the walls. It was not well lit, so it's like I remember it. It was like, and in
Is
the
it really
center of
like
it,
sketchy? This sounds like some back alley.
it it was, except for in the center of it was George Perez doing sketches.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
It was like randomly he was at that specific con, and we got to meet him. And well, my brother talked to him. I was shy.
yeah. I think my parents were really like concerned that I didn't know anybody who liked the same things I did. So I was really introspective about it. And when I wasn't, they had to hear about it. So I was like, Mom, and I have to tell her about all these comics I'm reading and stuff because I had nobody else to talk to. And I got really into anime and Japanese comic books and everything. So my parents were like, "Oh, you know, let's find an anime convention for her." And I was like 12, and my dad took me to Canada because that was the closest one. And we went to Anime North, which is now a huge anime convention, but at the time it was like 3 tables and a couple rooms where they showed anime. But
Mm,
yeah, since the beginning, my parents have been very cool about like taking me to conventions and buying me art supplies and our crumb books for some reason. No. My dad was the one who got
yeah,
me into Frank Frazetta. So
that's awesome. Yeah, anime was first coming up when I started working in comics, and yeah, there used to be an anime bookstore um, in Lower Manhattan, or you know, the street name, the not the numbers, but the named streets. I forget where actually. Um, that's not important, but anyway, it was like a bookstore, and everything was in Japanese, and it was just like rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of manga
that's awesome.
books, and it's like I don't know what any of this is, but we all bought something. You just to go there just to look at it all and take
That's
it
awesome.
in. Yeah.
I've
And
always
I've been
loved.
to some. Sorry,
No.
I've been to a few like anime conventions, but I'm sure there's better ones because the ones I went to were kind of like small and everybody was drawing Pokemon.
It's Pokemon. Excuse me, Pokemon. I kind of get into anything that's art related. I like if it's like sculpture or like stop motion animation or painting or whatever. I'm just like, oh, I'm there. I'm interested. What's going on? So like, love anime, love foreign animation, love everything. But I don't like cons. I'm not a con girl. I don't know what's wrong with me, but every time I go, I just start freaking out. I get super tired. I get super depressed. I just like want to get out so bad. And that's usually when I'm behind the table. I don't know.
Well, it's a lot. I mean, I've been on both sides, and I enjoy the hell out of conventions. But yeah, my brain is going 1,000 miles a minute, and I want to see everybody I know. So I'm
See,
usually
I don't
running
know
around the
anybody.
place. I usually run around conventions half the time, even if I do have a table, because I want to say hello to everybody I know.
I don't know anyone.
Well, that helps.
I just I don't have any fun. Nobody knows who I am. I don't want to talk about my comic. I don't want to pitch my comic. Like, I hate that. I'm just like, just read it. Just read it if you want to read it. I'm not going to sit here and sell you my comic, which is what you're supposed to do at a con, and I'm not doing that. So,
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I guess, when I first went to conventions, I don't know. It was just like forced into me. Like, you got to be a salesman. Not that I'm the best. I'm probably the worst, but um, I just, it's a conventions. Okay, they're not always fun, and a lot of it is hard work. And it's like you're talking to a lot of people you don't know, and it's like, hey, yeah. How do you sell your comics to them? Well, obviously, if you like blah blah blah, you like this. If not, I can't help you.
yeah, see,
But
that's the other thing. I don't know like what to compare Train Human to. So I'm always like, do you like to fuck grays? Is that like, are you down with that? Like, is that like hey Sig? But yeah, I like one time I was at a con, not well, like again, before all this happened, so it was probably like a year ago now, but
mm.
and these two guys came up and they were like, okay, you're gonna have to give us a pitch for your comic in like an elevator pitch, 1 minute, go. And I was just like, no, like what? Go away, get away from my table. Like, it's like I'm not here to like sell you shit, bitch. Like, you either read my comic or you don't. I don't know. I just I can't do it. I don't have that spirit, I guess, that salesman spirit. Ew.
That's funny.
I also feel like embarrassed. Like, I don't know. I don't like to talk about it. I don't want people to think I'm like bragging.
Well,
So
I mean, you have to have a certain, I don't know, like of your work, of your writing, of your art. You know, you put years into it. Obviously, it's not like, oh, I just threw that together over the weekend. It's like,
okay, but like I totally did. So why are you lying? No. No, I get that. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like I don't like this attitude of like you have to prove something to other people. It's like just read the comic or don't. Like, what do you want from me? God damn. Like
yeah. But I mean, conventions have definitely evolved over the years, and a lot more fans are aware of business and Hollywood. I don't know. Like, they want an elevator pitch. They want, it's like you to tell them it's connected to something they love already. I don't know. But
So I know that the kids today are totally down with the 1947 Roswell incident. So they're gonna love Trying Human.
yes. I mean, it's like I don't have a concrete elevator pitch for my book, and I mean, my experience trying to pitch my book is like I understand you to agree. I don't want to give story away. I don't want to,
Oh, I
say
don't
like
care about that. If they want to hear about the whole damn thing, sit down. I will tell them about it. It's this idea of like, sum it up for me. And I'm like, oh Jesus. Like, it's almost 1,000 pages. What do you want me to say? It's about a girl who gets abducted by aliens and like one of the aliens falls in love with her there. And there's like a bunch of other bullshit that happens. Like, read it. Like,
just say it's great. Buy 2 copies.
I'm coming off like really bitchy right now. I'm sorry. I'm very tired and I'm getting a little hangry. So
Oh,
I
we've been going
apologize.
a while.
No, that's cool. Keep
It,
going.
you
I
know,
mean, I'm not having dinner for like
okay.
2 more hours, so
I do have a show later, but we've got plenty of time.
No, no, not anymore. We're talking now. We're friends now. We're talking.
We're
Oh, you
friends for
sound
life.
so broken. You're like, oh, please let me go.
No,
I have to get off now.
no. But yeah, it's like how I pitch my character, my book is, it's my love of comics from the 60s to the 90s. I also grew up with heavy metal, so it's a little bit of that. And it's sort of a modern sensibility too. And all that mushed together. And,
Now that you've told me that you grew up in Boston, I can really hear it.
not Boston, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, sorry. Why did I fucking say Boston? Sorry.
It's okay. So yeah, you can hear it now.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Car keys. Hey, car keys. Say it.
Car keys. Car keys.
Wanted
No.
I wanted the really like car keys, like almost Australian.
I had a friend years ago when first started doing hangouts on YouTube, I guess, and he'd always make me say, "Forget about it."
It's racist.
Forget about it. But yeah, it's like I have a Brooklyn accent at times, but it's like I'm not, most of the time I'm not aware of it or whatever. But I am living in a small town in Kentucky, and most people here pick up on it pretty fast. All right, I swear I'm getting through this. Okay, I love chalupas.
I love
Oh,
chalupa.
chin.
That's the rap.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, okay. Randall says that was back during Zero Hour crossover event. Not sure if you were on those. Now I want to go back and rebuy that run of on Aquaman. Zero Hour came later. I'm not sure exactly. But I'll tell you what was happening it was during the Aquaman Hook era was also during the Superman Blue Red era. And I'm a fan of Superman. Actually, I like Superman better than Batman, even though Batman has billion more better stories.
Excuse
Um,
me.
what? You don't think so?
Batman is just better. It's just better. No,
Look,
it's cool.
don't try to change my mind. No, but yeah, during the whole red blue Superman, where he split into two different people,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
I thought that was really stupid. But
Oh, okay, but
we
Hook
had
Hook Aquaman is the ballingest, coolest thing ever. Oh,
that's true, but blue Superman who showed up in Hook Aquaman was stupid. I mean, I was like, the editor told me Superman's going to be in next issue of Aquaman. I was like, oh, really? Awesome. Yeah, it's the blue Superman. Oh,
what was
fuck.
that whole thing with the split Superman? Like, what was the? I can't remember what the thing was. Was like one good and one bad, or one was like good and the other was like kind of good. Like,
I think no, it was like, I mean, it was Superman split for whatever reason, like um, and each version was like his different powers, but there were new ones. I don't know why the fuck they did it, just to do something different with Superman.
yeah, that's. I mean, that's why they do anything in those comics.
Yeah.
See if they'll
Um,
land on something that everybody digs.
I mean, I, re- I remember back in the day when they did, giant genius brain Superman, and that was cool.
God, I do not remember that. That might be
Oh well, that was like like in the '60s or
60s.
whatever, like
Yeah.
early issues of Superman, where
You
he's
didn't
just
even
like on
have
the
to
cover.
say the year, and I knew what year it was. I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's the
yeah,
60s,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Before my time.
Well, no, but that just seems like a 60s DC plot. Like, let's just give him a big brain.
Yeah.
That's what the kids are down for these days, right? Big brain Superman.
Well, you never felt compelled to do something really bizarro off the wall with one of your characters.
True. I mean, everything was new at that time, so like you literally could have Superman just stay in his house all day, and you were like breaking new ground for comics, you know?
Does Superman dare? Well, find out inside.
He just like goes out in his jammies, his like little super slippers, and gets the mail. He's got like coffee mug in his hand.
I could see him. I'm feeling kind of lazy today. I'll save you, but I'm not putting on my costume.
I guess I just basically described the plot of like Hancock, that Will Smith superhero movie where like he does
Yeah,
nothing and saves no one, and everybody just likes him.
yeah. I like that movie.
I should probably like draw something that I have trouble drawing, like buildings or something.
Buildings.
I
Let's
love
build some
drawing.
this.
I love drawing like saggy, baggy, ugly cottages. That's like kind of one of the things. Like my sketchbooks are just filled with ugly cottages.
Well, that's fun to do it by hand. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. What do you mean by hand?
Yeah.
Like what? Like what other way would I do it? By now.
No, I mean like you're not drawing city buildings and using a ruler and perspective lines and.
Yeah, no. That stuff's for lame gay wads.
It's all technical, tedious,
Yeah,
boring.
all those stupid bitches into architecture. Lame. Saggy, baggy, ugly cottages is where it's at. Look at
That's
these
where
ugly.
it's at.
This is where my bug witch wife lives. This is where my waifu lives. No, I'm really into swamps too right now. I've been drawing a lot of swamps over the past year. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't even live near a swamp.
It's the swamp life.
I just like swamps.
With Emy. Well, I can understand. It's like you just want to become like, landscape artist drawing swamps in saggy homes.
Saggy Homes.
Saggy Homes.
That sounds like a new HGTV show. Saggy Homes.
Welcome to Saggy Homes. Today we're at Susan's home. Why is your home saggy? Well,
okay, going on. Oh God, I really hope this doesn't get you in trouble. I hope YouTube doesn't flag your videos because Emy was there talking about Kegel homes.
I'm sure it's fine. I'll find out later, I guess.
Oh, did you ever I don't know if this is a thing every kid did, but I always used to like to design rooms, but fantasy rooms. This is what my room would look like if I lived in a submarine. I don't know. Maybe I was a stupid child. I can tell from your uproarious laughter that I was indeed a stupid child.
Wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel really accepted.
No, I was thinking I was very neat child.
That's why I don't have any friends in comics. I reach out. I'm like, hey, let's draw a submarine house, submarine room, and I get laughed at. I'm never gonna make it in the industry.
I think you should start an art challenge. What's your dream submarine home?
Oh, great! And then I'll just get the whole internet laughing at my ass. Hey guys,
I just
sub home October. Everybody draw your stupid sub room so you laugh at Emy. I hate this.
Oh my God.
You got your mermaid, you got your Inktober, and you got your sub home November, where everybody just makes fun of me. It treats me real bad. I don't like this anymore. I was just trying to reach out. I was trying to share a universal drawing experience from my childhood. And I feel very unwelcomed right now.
And now my childhood is traumatized.
Well, anyway. Screw you! So anyway, did you ever do that? Did you ever do that when you were a kid? Back to the point at hand. Did you ever draw a fantastic?
Yeah.
Wait, you did?
No, I mean, I would no. I was very particular about my room and neat, and I like to take time and
to remodel the actual damn thing.
No. But it's like I could see somebody going the extra step and actually designing a room and then going into a fantasy aspect and say, well, if I had a room on a subway, not a subway, a submarine.
Well, here's my pile of used heroin needles. Here's the blood pool from the poor man that was killed by the subway officers. Here's my graffiti. Here's my train car. Honestly, if my kid was drawing that, I don't know if I would encourage it or be like, we need to get you in therapy. No, like
I mean,
well, fine. I was just a creative child then.
yeah.
I was very in my own world as a kid. I was definitely in my own head.
No, I think that's awesome. I never did it, but
I can tell. I feel ashamed. I feel ashamed of past Demi.
No.
Don't say it like that. No.
Don't
Oh, wishy, nummy, dumbhead. No, don't be ashamed.
Why are you ashamed? I don't see the problem.
Oh my god. I feel so attacked. Oh well. I'm gonna go live in my bog house with my bog witch girlfriend. Look at my great house. I love how the chat's just gone silent.
I'm sure you'll grow up to be a good person.
What?
Well, I'm sure we entertained the troops. They don't know what to say. They were in their 30s. I mean,
30? What? What's
kids?
Oh, kids. Wait, do you have kids? Sorry, I thought I heard voices. I was like, what's happening?
Starting to drag a little bit.
Hmm?
I think I'm starting to drag, or internet's starting to drag a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
What was the last thing? What was the last thing you said?
I said, well, now I feel like it's a rude question. I was like, do you have kids? Because I thought I heard voices.
Oh, no, just me. I have pets.
Do they speak?
They do in cat meows.
Oh yeah, how are the kitty cats?
They are all currently at our pet sanctuary outside of town.
Oh no.
Because I made the hard decision to take them out there. Because currently, I forget when last we spoke, but I was engaged to my friend Lisa, and we since have broken up, but we're best friends. Anyway, we went cat crazy together.
Do you remember that? I remember the cat crazy time.
Yeah, and so between the time that we met and now, we've probably had like 30 cats. Jesus. I would guess. Now some were temporary, some were not healthy and passed on. Some we found homes for. Anyway, she has 3 and I have 5 now.
Okay.
And
that's reasonable cat numbers.
Yeah, and so currently they're there because when we broke up, I just got a small apartment for myself and still living here, and I tried dealing with them for way longer than I should have. and was wondering, why am I getting less and less work done? I don't understand it. Because they were just all over me all the time, and this is like it's not a studio apartment, but there's only one door, and that's to the bathroom. I did temporarily have like put up a screen door in the doorway from, you know, essentially the living room to the bedroom,
They
but
destroyed
that
that, I
didn't really
assume.
work.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably were just like scream.
It's not so much destroying it. It's just like the fact that they were here was just distracting me.
All the eyes
And
watching you.
yeah, it's like, and they would be right at the screen if they saw me, you know, even up and active.
What are you drawing for,
So,
Father?
are you drawing me again?
So are they still like
So,
your cats though? Like, can you get them back?
yeah, yeah.
Do you go
Like
see
originally,
them?
of course, every month.
Oh.
Um, I
Say
mean,
more.
I mean, sometimes more than once a month, but I mean, this is a recent scenario.
No, okay.
Um,
I shouldn't even be
and
like saying anything. It's none of my fucking business.
no, yeah, it's okay. I spoke about this openly before, but you know, it's only that they've been there this year, and initially, like they um at the sanctuary, they had like a separate upstairs room um that, you know, was used for sewing but wasn't currently used. Anyway, I cleaned up the whole room, and there was rug there previously that was pulled up, and so there was all like these staples in the floor. I pulled all of the staples up, and I gave the floor a couple of coats of paint. I mean, I really like did a lot of work up there that will be helpful to the owner for when she uses it as a different sort of space.
Mm-hmm.
So that they were up there a couple of months, and now they're in general population, and they're getting and they're getting along with everybody else. So
I just
it's
like
all
that.
worked out for the best.
I like that. The general pop, they go out there and there's like cats with shanks and stuff. And they're like, you got pre-mouth, you know?
Yeah. um, you know, initially they were separated because there was some kind of medical issue going on downstairs, and all the cats have been treated. Now,
Oh,
understand,
I got
there's
it.
like freaking 50 cats down there, so um, you know, there are special needs cats that are in cages, but most of them are just out in the open. And
I hope it's not
you know,
too
my cat.
overwhelming for them.
Well, I think having a separate room made them aware of the others without actually having to interact with them. And initially, it was a shock for a couple of them, but now everybody's getting along and um, doing well.
Good.
Yeah.
I can't stand the maltreatment of tiny little kitties. Little kitters.
No. No, and you know, and the woman who runs the place, like she looks for the special cases of cats that have been mistreated or have health issues that nobody else wants these cats, and you know,
So that's why
so
she has yours.
she's really awesome.
Oh.
No,
I'm joking. I'm teasing.
no. I mean, initially when me and Lisa were together, um, you know, we were living where we couldn't have more than one cat, and we wound up finding them and bringing, I guess, a couple of cats at that time there because we couldn't have them, and we didn't just want to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been in touch with them ever since, and go there a lot, and you know, visit immense tribe out there that has
Tribe.
changed many a time. I mean, yeah, there's like 50 cats there. There was like in excess of 60 plus cats there at one time, and sometimes there's less. She exchanges cats with other people, and she fosters some cats, and it's a whole full-time business for her and
Um,
her husband.
my one cat, Mama, she she has a really funny backstory. That's not funny. It's like absolutely awful. So I'm going to tell this backstory. Here we go. Uh, when she was a kitten when I got her, and I got her from a rescue that rescued from owners that just like couldn't take care of their cats anymore, or like hoarding situations. And that was the situation I got Mama from. She had come from a hoarder. And the backstory was that the woman had a buttload of cats, and they came in and removed all but one cat who they didn't know, I think, at the time. Was pregnant. And so the cat had kittens, and the rescue group came back in and was like, look, we're going to let you keep this cat, but you have to get it fixed. And all her kittens fixed, and we're going to pay for it. And like literally all you have to do is show up with the cats, And she didn't do it. And she kind of disappeared off their radar. And they came back. They somehow tracked her down again. This was like 12 years ago, so I'm trying to remember the story. But they tracked her down again. And of course, she had not spayed or neutered any of the cats. And the population had like resurged in her home again. And it turned out that they were mostly all the offspring of the mother and like one of the sons. And the rescue gave her, they took all of them away, and that's how I got Mama. But they asked her, they were like, why didn't you just come to the appointment? Why didn't you just do what we asked you to do? And she's like, well, it's a mother and son. I didn't think they would do anything together. And I'm like,
well, that's true. Mothers and sons never do anything together.
Yeah, not even humans.
I'm kidding.
But yeah,
not even humans.
It's like, come on, lady.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I got Mama out of it. I got my weird little incest child out of it. So she's great.
Awesome.
She's the best kitty in the whole wide world. I love her so much. She's my little woozy.
Yeah, they're fun and loving, and funny and hysterical, and
I like when they get all like crazy, and they just like run. It's like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
I must run, mother.
Yeah, right after they poop one often.
Yeah! Why do they do that?
They'll start running around.
They get so excited. They're like, I'm empty. Go! So...
Because they're lighter. It's like, I just lost 10 pounds. I'm going to run around the house.
I am the wind. Yeah, right now it's getting pretty muggy and hot here in Pennsylvania, so they always let us sit out on our back patio porch thingy. It's like enclosed. So they go out there and they just melt into our furniture. They just drip over it.
Yeah. I mean, cats are fine with that. At the sanctuary, they have a thing. It's basically a screen and porch, but it's for the cats. And what she has is a bunch of planks at different heights and some tilted, where they, cats run across, or lay down and sleep on.
Mm-hmm.
She has like tree bark like nailed to the wall that they could scratch on. It's like different levels in there with different stuff for them to jump around on. And then there's two, essentially the main living room. She has a window open that the cat's, like a cat door that they can get in and out at any point. So they can go out, in quotes, outside and enjoy the outside weather, or they can go in and hang out with all the indoor cats.
My cats only have each other, Mama and Heine.
That's cool. I mean, it's better than having one cat.
Well, they
I always
barely
feel
tolerate each other.
bad.
And the one, he's just absolutely vicious. And I always feel like I'm subjecting Mama to him because she's such a gentle little cupcake, and the other one's just like a nightmare. He just out of nowhere, he will just like hunt her down and be like, "I must find Mama and I must punish her." And I'm just like, no.
Yeah, but cats are like that. I mean, like, because Lisa has one of my babies because he stayed here a little while and was like crying out, and so I thought he just wasn't. He didn't like the place. So she took him. Yeah, she took him back. Anyway, so he's like our biggest boy, and yet he's the biggest baby too. So he'll vicious attack one of the other cats, but now the other cat has grown a little older, and now it always wants to play with my cat Taz, and he's like like he's just a baby. He's just like, no, leave me alone.
I scream. My cat's, well, my one cat, Mama, she's like my cat. She always comes to my door, my office door, and just cries and cries and cries. And I try to be quiet. I try to be so quiet. And I'm just like, I'm not here. I'm not here. And she's like, bitch, I know you're in there. And she'll just keep yelling and yelling. And I'm just like, stop.
Oh, God.
She'll do it for like an hour. I hate it so much. And I don't know what to do. And I give her everything she wants. I'm like, here's your catnip. Here's your little hot spot in the sun. Here's your toys. Here's some food, water. She's like, but mother, where's the love?
I don't understand it, because that's what I was going through. Like, how, like, I'm not a total idiot. How can I not have my cats here? Like, every comic person I know has a freaking cat or dog or something, and it's like, how do other people deal with it? Like, how come I can't figure it out that I'm letting them divert my attention constantly and falling for their, they just want to be loved. And that's why I decided I just can't have them here, because I need at least a separate room.
My cat is my cat's one of those cats that, like, if you let her, she'll lay in your lap for like 8 hours. Like, and she just won't stop.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have to create places, which I did, where they would sit off to the side. But eventually that wouldn't be enough for them. It's like, okay, I finally got them to where they do the right thing constantly, and then they would change,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But I love them.
I know you do. Just bump my microphone. I gotta stretch.
Stretch. So, yeah. Oh, so how? I meant to ask you. You don't have to get into it deeply, but how in your world have you dealt with the whole Corona stuff?
Honestly, the virus stuff has been kind of the least of my worries.
Yeah.
My cousin died during all this,
Oh
and
no.
she's like 2 years younger than me, and it was like
Oh,
very sudden, like
wow.
um and nobody knew what had happened. And honestly, my first thought was like, did she get into like drugs or something and like didn't tell anybody? But um no, she had an undiagnosed heart condition and just died in her sleep.
Uh,
And but the thing that really sucks is like there's not going to be a funeral, obviously, or I should say there wasn't a funeral. It was a while ago now, but it was like a month ago. But uh, they're going to maybe do a memorial later, or something.
yeah.
Um, and then I don't know if I should be sharing this on the internet, but here I go. My one uncle, he is just not having a good time through all this. He's been his health has been declining for years, but I think he's like really depressed, and he's starting to have seizures, and it's a mess. And of course, again, you can't go see him, you can't go to hospitals. And I'm just like, can my family just like keep together for like 5 months here? Can you guys just like stop keeling over for a little bit? It's like, jeez.
Yeah. I mean, like right now, there's more and more people getting out and stuff getting back to a semblance of normal.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I saw somebody posting the other day, that their mom was feeling a lack of human contact. So the son, dressed up in plastic and gloves and mask, went and to see her in person, and just hug her.
Aw.
But like totally protected. Like, aren't we a little past that? I don't understand.
Actually, yesterday was the
It's
worst day worldwide for COVID. And
yeah.
it's re-upping again in like Florida, Arizona.
Mm,
We just yesterday Pittsburgh just doubled in our cases, so it's getting back up again. So yeah,
yeah.
I mean
Um.
we're personally still social isolating here because it's just not good. So we're,
Yeah.
we're still staying inside and stuff. The only people I've had any contact with are my parents, because they're doing the same thing, and they live way out in like Bumpkinsville, so like they have no human contact. But
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a small town in Kentucky, and the benefit is that like we're we have less than I don't even know 10 cases, I think, in this town. Um. And no deaths as far as I'm aware of. Last I looked, and it's been a little while, but like low number. And I think Kentucky overall is low as compared to most other states. I think.
nobody
I
wants
don't
to
know,
go
but
there.
yeah,
That's the thing.
it's true. Um, so in a small way, I'm thankful that I'm here rather than, definitely New York is fucking,
Oh my
horror
god,
stories
that
over
was
there.
bad. Yeah, I have friends up there who were just like they said it was terrible.
Yeah.
So
And, yeah, you know, um, so most of my family now, like my parents passed away years ago. It's just, I just have brothers and three older brothers. And they're all living in Florida. Thankfully, um, back in January, I went to visit them. It was like, you know,
okay, well, bye. Enjoy your
um,
sickness.
no, I mean, it was like, it, it was the last time we were all together, and mind you, it was Jimmy and my other brother living in Florida for years. Victor, my oldest brother, was living in Vegas with his wife, but they, since he's like retirement age now, he decided to move to Florida to be around my other brothers. So it's they've been together a number of times, but all of us together haven't been together since my mom passed away back in 2006. So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
I mostly keep in touch with Jimmy because we're the closest in age, and we have similar likes, and we're in the same freaking industry, and yada
Yeah.
yada yada.
Yeah.
So, but it was nice to see everybody. Well, all except my oldest brother's wife, who is setting up a event. She couldn't make it to our dinner, but it was nice to see them. And then COVID happened, so
Yeah.
it was. I'm just glad I had the chance.
We kind of felt it coming in the winds because we have a lot of friends in Japan, and they were like, "It's getting bad over here." It's like, uh-oh. So, and then one day Dave, my husband, he came home from work and he's like, I think I'm not going to be going back into work anymore. He's like, I'm just going to work from home. And I was like, okay. And then like later that day, we get a call from his work and they're like, yeah, don't come back in. Like, he's not like fired. He still has the job, but it's, he works in the medical industry, so they don't want him,
Right.
like contaminating stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, he makes God, what does he do now? I don't know, he makes like MRIs or some shit, but he gets like kind of passed around, so I don't know what all he's working on at a given time. But anyway, yeah, so like Japan, they were having like all the same issues, like the toilet paper shortages and all that. That was hilarious. But
yeah, I mean that half of that was like, well, people got stimulus check at around that time, and like when we had a real shortage,
oh yeah,
people were going out and buying like a week's, I mean like a month's worth, and they're all of a sudden their kids were home, so they're buying for the whole family for a month. Of course, everything is going to be gone the next day.
Surprisingly, the whole toilet paper thing didn't get real bad in Pittsburgh. Everybody kept like talking about it and joking about it. We saw it a little bit, but generally our grocery stores like really jumped on it and were like, "Don't do that." Like, but yeah, there's still like a lot of places here that aren't open back up yet, which they shouldn't be because it's already starting to get bad again here. So.
Well, we've had restaurants open, and as far as I'm aware, it's 1/3 capacity. The thing I'm pissed off about is we lost. We had 2 Chinese restaurants in town. One was like a buffet place that looked not so great, but I would have went to if there wasn't a better place. But there was a better place, and and it looks like both of them closed down. From what I see, I don't know. Like maybe it's just like the state of
They may not have survived the
yeah
the closures. There were a
but
bunch
it's
of
like
places like that here. Yeah, so
I
some of our restaurants are opened. A lot of the grocery stores still haven't fully opened back up. They have like really limited hours and stuff. Yeah, like there was this.
I think our Walmart changed to back to 24 hours.
I don't know where our Walmart is. I don't know where one is around here. I know there is one. Yeah, we had
I
this.
like shopping 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, so like we have this grocery store we love to go to called Giant Eagle, and they And the one we went to, I always called it the post-apocalyptic giant eagle because it had like it was missing like a back wall, and they had it all bricked up funny, and it looked just like Fallout. But anyway, uh, it was my favorite. I love that, and like nobody knew it, so it was like a really really nice grocery store, but like nobody went to it, and then suddenly everybody went to it. And it was like no, and then they had to close it. It's still technically open, but only open for pickup. So
yeah. Yeah, there was like a mom and pop place. I forget the name of it, but it looked like for a while like they were giving away all their food, and it looks like they went away for a while, but apparently they just came back and were back in business. So it was like, oh, good, we didn't lose them, you know. But well, because of COVID, I improved my studio. Um, I I used to have a small ass little printer scanner, and I finally got an Epson. So it's a full size scanner, so I can scan comic pages now. Because I used to go to there's like 2 local mom and pop copy centers, and they were so fucking unreliable. Because I always tried to go there and get blue line pages printed out, and every time it was fucking hassle. I spent hours there.
I have I have a
Sorry,
decent
I got
scanner. Oh, sorry, what?
yeah. so so I got this new Epson, and it does everything, and I'm happy.
Good. I have a decent one. The only thing is it doesn't like I want to be able to press a button and have it go to Photoshop. Press a button, have it go to Photoshop. I have to every time like manually go into Photoshop and then like say I want to scan something and select all these different things and then do it. And it's like I want like everyone's like, "Oh, Emmy, share more of your sketchbooks." And I'm like, "I would love to." But
Yeah.
it's super time consuming to deal with them. So,
I don't know. Like, I mean, one of the things I had with the printer scanner I had was that there was a driver, a program on my computer that allowed me to control the image before it was scanned. Now I have to do that afterwards, and maybe there's a way around that or a program for that. So it to me, it's like this is more work, but there's probably a way around it. There's probably a driver. There's probably a program. It's probably somebody in the industry who figured it out and has a solution. So I'm sure if you look hard enough,
yeah,
you might.
I does have a feed scanner. So if I was the kind of
Yeah.
person to do like single sheets, I could just. But I noticed that even with like, again, I want to open them in Photoshop so I can like make them look nice, and even with the feed scanner, it doesn't want to just do all of them. It's like, no, I'll just do like one little baby beige, and that's it. And then it just shuts off, and it's like, God, no, do them all. I don't know how to like force it to just do all. I don't know.
Speak up. Just do what I want.
Scanners are a pain.
I mean, it's. I tell you, like I was before the modern era working in comics, and I miss, like being invisible at home working. Anybody could reach you at any point during the day, which there's benefits to. But it's a lot more work creating content online, and um, you know, specifically with a scanner. it's like, oh, now I have to do this job too. That used to be somebody else's job. I just, called FedEx and had them pick up the pages. In the day when people and companies were rich.
Well, I never had that luxury.
Mm. Well, it's like I did FedEx stuff to Maude in DC, and they did the same to me. But I mean, I was living an hour away by train, essentially. So I went up there every
Wait,
opportunity I had.
did you live out in California?
No. This is this is back when Maude and DC were in Manhattan,
Oh
and I
shit.
lived in Brooklyn.
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
It's only a recent occurrence that they moved. What is
How
it?
recent?
Marvel's in California.
I know Marvel's out there because I had a friend who worked there.
I think DC's still in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I don't know what
It
I'm
doesn't.
talking about.
It doesn't alter my life any. But back in the day, I used to FedEx a lot, and that was a special thing. Although, on some occasions it was like, oh shit, I gotta make FedEx. I gotta. Okay, it was past 5 o'clock or whatever o'clock that the local FedEx would take it and guarantee it for tomorrow's shipment.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have to, from Brooklyn, take a trip into Manhattan to their 42nd Street branch, all on the west side, all the way on the west side, like the riverside. Um, and to their like FedEx warehouse where they would take it, where they would take it up until midnight or whatever.
Did you get a
Like
police
I
escort because you were in comics?
would, surprisingly, no.
What?
No, no, I would have to go there. I would walk, I would take the train and, walk the whatever avenues.
What if somebody stole
For,
them? Oh my god, what would you do?
oh, nobody ever did.
But what would you do? What if
Nobody.
DC stole them? Or wait, no, Marvel, sorry. Like, wouldn't they be whack if they just sent somebody out there and they were like, he's on the loose, get him. Like, steal your pages.
I mean, if somebody actually did, I would be screwed because I didn't have copies back then. Like if I was just delivering pages, I probably didn't have copies of them.
Comic artist on comic artist violence. Just
Yeah.
out in the mean streets of Manhattan, getting your comic sheets ganked off of you by other rival comic companies.
I'll tell you, the only time I ever lost anything that I remember at the moment was drinking a little too many in Manhattan.
Here we go.
And having my Marvel bag full of. Fortunately, it was my own crap.
Oh.
It wasn't like Marvel or DC pages, but just like being so drunk that you get up to catch, make sure you get through the door at your station, and as the door is closed, you remember, oh shit, my bag's in there.
And I take it wasn't there when
and
you
it was
did.
like, well, I was too fucking drunk. I had to go home.
Oh,
That was okay. I was transferring trains, so I wasn't even close to home yet.
I would have
And it
gone
was
back.
like,
I would
I'm
have been
way too
like,
drunk. Nah, I
leave
had
no
to
man behind.
let it go. It's just whatever personal comic pages or whatever I created in sketches and drawings or whatever.
Oh man, I would have
Like,
I would have lost my mind. I would have been like, I'm going back.
No, I mean, I kept a lot of things at various points in my, before my career, at my career, whatever. But I'm not too precious. If I have a copy of it, and at this point, if I have it on my computer, it's like I don't need the original.
Speaking of stolen comic,
So I'm gonna ask,
huh?
okay. I was gonna say, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah, what's up?
Take over the stream for a second. I'm gonna go pee.
Oh, what? Don't share that with me. Hey, everybody. It's Emmy's stream now.
Hey everybody. So I'll be back shortly.
Yeah.
So listen to Emmy's advice.
Hey, guys. How's everybody doing? He gets back here, I'm going to tell him a great story about stolen comic pages. Hope everybody's having fun. I don't even know if my chat's working anymore. It hasn't updated in a while. Can I refresh this little window? Can I reload you, little frame? There we go. Hi. Wow, I'm very ready for him to be back. I see you, Randall. Testing. I hope everybody's having fun. We're just kind of gabbing. I'm so tired. My sleep schedule's all messed up, and I'm trying to get it back to like normal. I don't know what I'm drawing right now. I'm just like, I'm in my digital sketchbook. How fancy. And I'm just doodling. The program I use for inking for some reason is like really for inking my comic pages, it's like really lagging. So I think it has to be to do with like streaming, which is weird because when I stream on Twitch, I don't have any problems inking over there or whatever. So anyway, I will ink and finish that page later. So right now I'm just chilling, just doing some doodling, just doing some spook doodling. I really need to sit down and like dedicate more time to just being a more varied artist. I have these like, I think this is a problem like every artist has to some degree. I have these like default shapes that are just like programmed into my essence as an artist. And so when I start drawing, I immediately am like, oh, there's my shape, there's my shape. Like these are the shapes I'm comfortable with. And I want to get out of that. Problem is, I don't have a lot of time to just like free draw these days. I basically I get up and I immediately start working. I don't really doodle anymore. I just like sit down and grind out pages. I really should like start setting aside a day of the week to just be like, this is Emmy's day for art. Nobody else's. Like Saturday afternoon, just any time.
Anytime.
What? Are you back? Hello?
Am I back? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it is currently like 4:20.
Yeah. What's up?
You know what that means?
That means- Oh wait, yeah, I know what that means. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm real tired, dude.
We've been going a long time, over
Yeah.
3 hours.
Can I tell you my story real fast before you like shut the whole thing off? Okay, here's my story. So we were talking about stolen comic pages. So in Japan, it's like really common that like you literally just draw ink everything on the same page, no tracing, and then you just take it into your editor and you're like, you give it to them and you're just, like, thank you. Please make my comic into a book. Well, the woman who was behind Sailor Moon, she was pretty much like, I don't ever want to do Sailor Moon anymore, ever again. And so she started this whole other series. I forget what it was called. She did like the first book or two, and she took the whole thing into her publishing house / editor in Japan, and they lost all of it. And she quit.
Oh,
And she quit comics, and that was it. She was done.
oh man.
I can't even imagine. I would lose my mind. I would like go scorched earth. I'd be like, find it. Like,
I would have like back in the day. If I lost one page from All on DC, I would have like been on the verge of suicide or something, and not out of my mind, not know what to do.
I always wondered if, because she was really done with Sailor Moon, and they really like near the end, there were rumors that she was like on drugs and stuff to finish it, like on speed, because speed was really popular in Japan at that time.
Right.
And she frequently said in interviews, like she doesn't even remember like working on it near the end.
Sailor Moon. I thought I was working on something else.
Like she was just so out of it. She said like later she would get the pages like or get the comics when they came out. And she was like, I don't even remember working on this or writing this. But anyway, I think that they wanted her to make more of it and kind of quote unquote lost the other pages on purpose to try to keep her like churning out magical girls. And she was just not having it. But man, that sucks. I feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Well, not too bad. She's sleeping on a pile of cash with Sailor Moon's face on it, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've watched a few videos of like Japanese culture and the culture in creating comics and working on comics and just like work in Japan and how things have changed through the years, but how like
getting better.
Yeah, how insane it used to be. I mean, part of me admires that. Like, you know, they work crazy long hours, then they all go to the bar together past midnight.
Yeah,
with the boss, and spend another couple of hours, go home and sleep. I don't know what, like maybe 4 hours, and then go back to work.
Sometimes they don't even leave. They'll just sleep in the office, and a lot of the 7-Elevens and stuff over there will have like suits and ties and things in their stores so that they can just buy a new set and get cleaned up and go back in. And I'm like, wow, that is totally not the life for me. Thanks, Japan.
Yeah. I remember back in the day when I ran a mailroom. It was like for a reinsurance company. And I went out after work and, went to my girlfriend's home and didn't go home and went to work the next day with the same suit and shirt and everything.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, God, I feel like a sleaze.
And the worst thing is like, it's okay if you like wear the clothes through the night and sleep in them. It feels pretty good. It feels like, well, not pretty good, but it feels okay. The worst is when you take off your old dirty clothes and have to get back into them the next day. And you're just like, ugh. I'm just like putting on a slimy used condom of clothes. Oh, I hate like putting on dirty socks. It's the grossest. Like when you go camping, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm getting into this, but
it's important. Life lessons,
Oh, Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, there was so much Gibran. Sleep is for the weak.
It is not.
Welcome, Gibran. Let's see who else. Sign Jepson.
Oh, that's Signe.
Signe. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's not how it's normally pronounced, but it's close enough. Yeah, that's Signe. She's a friend of mine.
Welcome. I'm just going to shout out names because there's so much chat that went by, but I think we got the gist of who's in there. Thank you, everybody, for chatting. Thanks to everybody who has hopefully been working while we're working and chatting and just having a good old time. Oh, somebody named That Sucks commented. Thank you, That Sucks. Appreciate your coming by, say hello. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I had a chat like this in a bazillion years, so it's good to see.
I tried to pedal it around. I was like, yo.
Yeah, yeah. Always does better when you pedal it around.
Hey, I have a question.
Yes.
Who was the chick who was at our last stream? Who was into like 50 Shades of Grey? Do you know? Do you know who that is?
Was it Carrie? Was
Mhm.
it was it Sandy, aka Doc and Mar? Maybe
Oh, maybe I feel like I know.
digital artist.
I know Dark and Mar. It was somebody who
Okay.
didn't draw as much. I think maybe she wrote.
Oh, well, we're no longer friends, so
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
no problem. Um, yeah, had a falling out.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't
Nope.
know.
Oh,
I
no problem.
I just wondered like what had happened. Okay, I'm
Uh,
sorry. It's just I ruined everything.
no, stuff happens. I think it was just mostly a miscommunication, and uh,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I
Uh,
guess it's part of being an adult. AK
yeah.
Emmy's favorite book. Get out of here. I actually feel bad because she was like, "Oh, I love 50 Shades of Grey," and I kind of went like that, and I laughed, and then she was like, "No, it's actually like very well written." Da, 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 da. And I was like, "Oh, I feel bad." I mean, like to each their own, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I never
I'm
read
sorry.
it.
Yeah, I have a friend who read it in detail to me just so she could yell at me about it, and I was like, "Okay." So,
And then look what they do.
excuse me.
I'm just like reenacting.
Oh, well. I think I am going to get off and eat a dinner and go to bed early, as per my shtick lately.
Cool. Well, you're always welcome to come on and
Yeah,
join.
just like at me, and I'll remind me when, and I'll be there. So
Yeah, I think I'm trying to do daily and do around this time that we started this one. So yeah, I mean, expect it pretty much the same time unless I have other obligations.
other better artists.
No, never. But yeah, thank you very much for hanging out with me again. Always
Yeah,
fun, good times. Got a lot done. I hope you got some serious work done yourself.
I've mostly just been drawing anime eyes for like the last hour. So, but yeah, I had fun. It was cool. It was cool beans.
You want to tell people where to find you, your work, your comic?
Yeah, trainhuman.com is my main comic. Introducingemmy.com is all my other comics, like my anthologies and shorts and stuff. So, yeah, that's me.
Cool. And you can find me here. But besides that, Peter Palmiotti everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And working on my comic retro to get it published one day, hopefully this year, as long as the universe doesn't take over.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head out. So
All right.
I will see you later. Toodles.
Take care, everybody in the chat. Take care, everybody. Subscribe, like, and good night.